conservative activist Charlie Kirk. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao was there.
For many people, Kirk was a voice for young conservatives through his organization, Turning Point USA.
And he would encourage the people who disagreed with him to step forward and have that dialogue, because all the worst events in America have happened when we stop talking to each other.
If you want change politically, that can be settled at the ballot box. Violence is never the answer.
Vice Chair of Washington State Young Republicans, Sierra Elliott, says this tragedy will only make their voices grow louder. Kirk leaves behind his wife and 2 young children. A lot of people sharing their prayers, their condolences with his family, including Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell tonight. Again, a lot of prayers to his family.
A fight on a Metro bus in Seattle turned bloody when police say one man stabbed another Wednesday evening. Officers found one person collapsed in the street near the scene. They followed a trail of blood to a South Lake Union apartment to find the other. After that 35-year-old is treated for their injuries, they're expected to be booked into jail for investigation of assault. Seattle police are making more use of the city's so-called soda and soap zones, meant to keep people convicted of drug or prostitution offenses out of certain areas. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports those zones didn't get much use in their first 3 months.
City Attorney Ann Davison says since then, though, prosecutors have used the soda zone 115 times, soap 32.
Because it took some time to implement, training, et cetera, for officers. And so now we're seeing it on a more regular basis.
Critics say the zones don't work. And the Seattle Times reports Erica Evans, who is running against Davison, opposes them. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Some good news about a story we brought to you yesterday morning. A 7-year-old boy missing in Tacoma. He has been found. Skylar Doty was last seen Tuesday near the downtown area. That's when he went missing. Tacoma police say he got off the Link light rail with a woman he knows. Investigators say he was found safe but did not provide more details. The Mariners beat expectations in a sweep of the Cardinals and a 13th inning win last night.
Here's the stretch and the 0-1 on the way to Polanco. Swinging a line drive, right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Naylor Ronnie, third being waved in. He'll score. Tie game. Polanco to second. Goes in, standing up with an RBI double. Jorge doesn't waste any time. He ties it up at 2-2. And the Mariners have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 11th inning. A double for Jorge Polanco.
The Mariners are 1 game back of Houston for first place in the AL West and 1.5 games ahead of Texas for the final wild card berth in the playoffs. Fangraphs gives them an 84.5% chance of reaching the playoffs. Now let's get your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Green all over the map this morning. That's what we like to see. Let's get you to some travel times. Tacoma to Seattle, 35 minutes on I-5 North. Everett to Seattle from the north end, 32 minutes on I-5 South. Bellevue to Seattle, 15 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue, 17 minutes. Auburn to Renton, 18 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 31-minute speed limit drive. Your KIRO News Radio forecast is cloudy, mild with a high of 70 degrees. More sun tomorrow with a high of 68. And coming up, Angela Poe Russell joins the show to weigh in on the possibility of Waymo autonomous vehicles coming to Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery, and you are listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Cal has hit more home runs than any catcher in the history of the game of baseball.
The Mariners are in the hunt for October, and now's the time to pack the park and bring the energy.
The look in by Brash, the pale pitch on the way, and it's strike three called. He got him looking.
We're electric. I feel like the fans can feel that, and we're just going to keep this going.
An absolute tracer from Julio. He has homered in back-to-back at-bats.
Keep bringing the energy. We really need it. Let's go.
Out to right field. Way back there. J.P. Crawford. Game winner, walk-off fashion in the ninth inning.
This team has a lot of fight. You guys have been electric. You guys are the key to this, so thank you guys.
The postseason is in our sights. Be here and be loud. Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Joining us, filling in on the G and Ursula show, is Angela Poe Russell. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Manda. Dave, so good to be with you.
It is great to have you here, and we want to talk with you about Waymo. These are the autonomous taxi vehicles.
We warned you.
San Francisco, L.A., and they may be coming here. I hear you have some thoughts.
Yes, they've been spotted at various places in the cities. I think this is a game changer and something I am super excited about. And, since G, I know, comes on here a lot and he loves to use his analogies.
Yeah.
I'll just try to do my best with one. But this is like a beautiful new baby that still has a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to make some mistakes, but lots of potential. And I'm going to tell you number one reason why I'm excited. Because I was heading to the MS Walk in Mount Vernon this weekend. And on my way, I spotted at least 3 human drivers literally with their phones on the, it was disturbing. It made me afraid. Waymo, they're not texting.
They're not texting, but, right now they have the human drivers who are there to grab the wheel. But at some point, this is just going to be a robot car, nobody inside. That doesn't concern you at all?
If you go to Duke University and several universities across the country, they've been working really hard on automating airplanes. We already are almost there. So if we're doing it, I get it's not the same as Frogger, Seattle, where you're navigating bike lanes and streetcars and everything. But if it can manage aviation and airstrikes, why not on the roads? And by the way, I just have to interject because Sully is looking at me like, nope.
He's patiently
waiting. So I just want you to
stupidest,
jump in.
Stupidest idea. You know what mistakes equal? Deaths.
Yeah.
And I don't want them testing unproven technology that can't tell the difference between a child walking across the street or people, it's just untested. No, forget it. There's no way that any algorithm can do anything to prepare itself for Seattle or any urban core where people walk out of nowhere, not paying attention. Cars, buses, bicyclists. There's no way in hell I want these things anywhere near a street until they're 100% foolproof.
In fairness, they've been tested. They've been testing them for years.
And we've seen the testing, haven't we? In the school zone in San Francisco. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. 10 kids in a row run over by Teslas that could not see the child who came out from outside a car. No way.
Sully, to be fair, and as Angela kind of mentioned in the beginning, people... You talk about human error. People
I get
constantly on their phones, constantly distracted.
There are a lot of people who shouldn't be driving
drunk, under the influence of drugs. Like, there are a lot of factors that are humanly controlled that are reasons why people are getting into accidents. And if you take that out, yes, I understand the testing itself can be dangerous. But I think there is an argument for kind of eliminating those human factors.
Yeah, you do it in your neighborhood. No, they're just the technology is not even close.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I want to validate how you're feeling because, and I think my view. I think you're partly right on this. Because I did have an engineer tell me that whenever, like historically, you develop any new technology, she's like, there are going to be deaths. You look at when the airplane first started and the number of people who died as, airplanes were being developed. So the question is this a worthy pursuit? Worth the consequences,
Certainly.
The potential initial hiccups?
As a traffic guy, worthy. Just don't put them on the road till they're ready. They're not ready. Not even close. You talk to many engineers, they're not ready.
And there's this rush. You feel like there's a rush to do it. Yeah. Well, I do know the National, it's Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. They are at a point of requiring crash data, but it is still, to Sully's point, we don't have a lot of good data yet. Waymo has submitted their own findings when they worked with their insurance company. The National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration now requiring it, but we still don't have a lot of studies, so we're not there. But I want us to think of the possibilities, though. Think about the improve safety down the road.
Yep.
I also think about if we eventually can have our own driverless cars that we own, not just in the Uber style, people who have vision issues that can't drive. I mean, all kinds of possibilities and accessibility issues can be solved with automation. I do worry, just like AI, about the elimination of jobs.
Yeah. This is all coming on a day. We're also talking about the fact you can hail an Uber helicopter here soon.
I'm with Charlie here. He's like,
no.
Heck no.
Hail no.
Pamela and Black Diamond's like, I'm with Sully. Where do they want them to test it?
In a track in the middle of nowhere.
I think they've done that. I mean, they've been.
Then when you have to do it with some sort of robot, obstacle courses, things that happen in real time. By the way, we also saw how well those Waymos work really well during the riots. Give those to our protesters here, and we'll see how well they do. They just put them down, and they stopped them in the middle of the street, and they just created roadblocks. Not ready.
Angela Poe Russell will be joining us on the G and Ursula show coming up. To be continued. Good conversation.
Good morning, Cougar fans. This is going to perk up your game experience for next season. You are now going to be able to buy beer and wine when you head to Cougar football games. The State Cannabis and Liquor Board approved a pilot program which will allow beer and wine to be sold throughout the stadium, just no alcohol allowed in the student section. The Husky Stadium has had alcohol sales since 2021. Coming up, retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton explains the Russian drone attacks on Poland and how they could impact the war in Ukraine. I'm Jillian Raftery, and you're listening to KIRO News Radio.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines and I was able to sleep through the night. And that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Come in, have fun. Muckleshoot.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
One thing you can always count on is a change in the weather. Time to protect your home now with the help from the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call Integrity at 206-202-ROOF or visit online at integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's is recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back, and it's time to rally for the campaign to keep kids healthy. Donate at Safeway checkout to help families afford fresh fruits and veggies. With SNAP Produce Match, every dollar goes twice as far. Learn more at your neighborhood Safeway.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Shock, anger, and condemning political violence. Some of the many reactions in the aftermath of the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Democratic Governor Bob Ferguson posted on social media that violence is never the answer. Republican Congressman Dan Newhouse agrees and says political speech is free speech. It must be cherished and protected. In the wake of the shooting, his fellow Republican, Washington Representative Michael Baumgartner, is calling on people on both sides of the aisle to tone down the rhetoric.
When you inflame things, then some folks feel that as a justification for violence. And so everybody needs to do better on that front.
He spoke with the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM. The 24 states, including Washington, recently receiving requests from the Department of Justice to turn over a full copy of the Washington State Voter Registration Database within 14 days to be used in criminal and immigration-related investigations. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has reaction from our State Attorney General Nick Brown.
The request came from the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, asking for full names, dates of birth, addresses, driver's license numbers, or the last four digits of Social Security numbers. AG Nick Brown says the request is not about election integrity, it's about control.
If you can control elections, then you can control the future of his policy priorities, and we can't let that happen.
Brown says if the request is legal, the state will comply. If not, everything will be done to protect Washingtonians. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Get ready for a whack in the wallet. Premiums for individual health insurance plans are going to go up an average 21%. These are plans purchased on the state marketplace by people who don't get insurance through an employer. Last year, 300,000 people bought coverage on that exchange. The state is required to approve premium increases as long as they can be justified. The state insurance commissioner says increasing costs of health care and uncertainty about whether the federal government will renew tax credits to keep those plans accessible to consumers are major factors in the price jump. From your KIRO Radio real-time traffic, mostly light as expected for this time of morning. Starting to see a few more cars on the road heading north out of Auburn. And let's start there. Auburn to Renton is 24 minutes now. Bothell to Bellevue, 18 minutes on southbound 405. Bellevue to Seattle, 15 minutes on I-90, 17 on 520. Tacoma to Seattle, 42 minutes on I-5 North. And Everett to Seattle, 32 minutes on I-5 South. Your forecast today, working our way up to a high of 70 degrees. Cloudy today with some sun breaks tomorrow and Saturday and a chance of rain on Sunday. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery, and you are listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
For the first time since the war between Russia and Ukraine began, the violence has spread beyond the borders of the two nations as Russian drones were invading Polish airspace yesterday.
Joining us now to break it down and what it all means for the war in Ukraine is retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton, a national security contributor for News Nation. General, good morning. Can you just explain exactly what happened with this drone incursion in Poland?
Well, good morning, Amanda. Good to be with you and Charlie again. First off, bottom line is this is really, it's reckless and frankly unprecedented. Up to nearly 24 drones went into Polish airspace and were shot down by two NATO aircraft, one from the Netherlands and the other from Poland. There could have been other aircraft involved as well, but this is a dangerous situation. And as Russia commits its forces in a way that the largest drone and missile attacks since the beginning of the war actually occurred over the weekend, Amanda. And apparently what happened less than 24 hours or so ago was some of these drones actually went into Polish airspace. Some reported that they actually had gone from Belarus, crossed over Ukraine, and it hit the Polish border. And it was the deepest penetration of Russian drones inside of Poland to date. So it's quite a serious situation.
Why is it so much more serious if a Russian drone, for example, attacks Poland than it would be in Ukraine, at least in U.S. interests?
Well, first and foremost, these unprecedented attacks, really, we're going nearly 1,300 days of this war. Russia has really stepped up its drone and missile attack, as I mentioned previously. But they have not attacked a nation outside of Ukraine. In this case, these drones, I think mistakenly actually went into Poland, perhaps. But that would really cause a concern for not only Poland, but for the entire North Atlantic Treaty Organization and Alliance because of Article 5. If an adversary attacks a NATO member, that means really all 32 NATO members have been attacked and so forth. And it would be a much heightened, much more serious response, I think, would come from NATO. On that point, Charlie, what this recent incursion of these Russian drones have really compelled the NATO leaders to put into effect Article 4, which calls for, it's the really now consultations of all 32 member nations, and they're doing that as I speak right now to determine what their collective response will be.
Any response from President Trump so far?
None yet, although the White House has made a statement that they don't obviously condone these attacks at all. And the fact is that really what the most recent White House announcements have been against these, again, really wide-scale drone ballistic missile attacks, the most we've seen since the war over the last couple of weeks, and most, certainly over the weekend, over 820 combined drones and ballistic missiles attacking Ukrainian civilians, Amanda, across several cities in Ukraine. Also, most recently last week, there's an attack that actually went into downtown Kyiv that hit a Ukrainian government building for the first time. So the escalation aspect of this is really what the White House is focused on.
Lieutenant General Richard Newton. Thanks, General.
Coming up, we're going to have some national headlines to keep your week going. I'm Jillian Raftery, and you're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at proscope.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's proscope.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
CBS News Special Report. Vigils across the country last night after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot to death in front of thousands of students gathered to hear him speak at Utah Valley University. President Trump ordered flags lowered to half staff.
He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom. And there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth.
The manhunt for a shooter continues. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
Hours after this shooting, it remains unclear who's suspected of pulling the trigger. Local law enforcement says a suspect has not yet been taken into custody.
CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
Charlie Kirk was convincing younger conservative voters across the country to support President Trump last year, made him so essential to his reelection campaign.
Charlie Kirk was 31. He leaves behind a wife and 2 young daughters. CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Your KIRO News Radio forecast is cooler but still mild, 70 degrees and cloudy today. Some sun and 69 degrees tomorrow. Right now, it's about 58 degrees in downtown Seattle, 57 in Olympia, and 54 in Everett. Coming up, a Supreme Court decision is going to make it easier for immigration officers in Los Angeles to detain people who they suspect of being in the country illegally. Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna explains more next. I'm Jillian Raftery on KIRO News Radio.
Here
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
A decision from the Supreme Court Monday may make it easier for ICE agents in Los Angeles to take people into custody that they believe could be in the country illegally.
This is after a federal judge in California last month had prohibited immigration agents from making indiscriminate immigration-related stops in L.A. And joining us to break the decision, down the decision, is former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Good morning, Rob. So let's start. What was this order and what was the argument behind it?
Well, we talked about this some weeks ago, and as you recall, this has to do with whether or not federal immigration law enforcement can stop people to question them. So we're not talking about arresting people. We are talking about stopping them, detaining them, and then later on they might be arrested. And the challengers to what was happening in Los Angeles argued that these stops were being based on someone's race, whether they were speaking Spanish or even accented English, whether they were at a particular location, such as day laborers or an agricultural site, or whether they were performing a particular type of work. And Judge Frimpong, a federal judge in the Los Angeles area, issued an order on July 11th saying that agents may not rely on several factors, whether individually or in combination with those other factors, in deciding to stop and question an individual in her district, which includes Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. The Ninth Circuit left her order largely in place while the litigation continues at the Ninth Circuit, so it's on appeal. But the U.S. government, Department of Justice, went to the Supreme Court in August and asked the justices to lift that temporary order, which they characterized as a straitjacket on law enforcement efforts.
So the Supreme Court decision that came down this week directly opposes that federal order. So what does the decision mean exactly?
Well, it means that for now, the federal district court judge Frimpong's order is not in effect, and immigration enforcement officers in Los Angeles can continue to stop people and question them based on any one of those factors alone or in combination: race, language, location, kind of work they're doing. And the Supreme Court, as they typically do in these shadow docket decisions, which involve emergency appeals and lifting or imposing temporary orders, didn't provide a full-blown opinion explaining their reasoning. But Justice Kavanaugh did provide his own written explanation for the court's ruling, and he argued that demographic realities justify the actions of ICE agents. He said, quote, about 10% of the people in the Los Angeles region are illegally in the United States, meaning about 2 million illegal immigrants out of a population of 20 million. The three liberal justices on the court, of course, strongly disagree with that reasoning and argue that Americans should not be stopped or seized by federal government officials because of how they look, the language they speak, or the fact they work in a low-wage job.
Rob, I just like to be plain spoken, so let me phrase it this way. Does this ruling basically say if you look Mexican and you're speaking Spanish, that immigration authorities can use that as the only reason they need to question and interrogate you?
Yes. That's the way this appears to read. And that's what Judge Frimpong was trying to stop. The Department of Justice, Immigration Enforcement believes that that is a reason to stop, detain people, ask them for ID, ask them for evidence of legal status. And that's the heart of the disagreement here.
We're talking about Los Angeles in this particular case, but does this have nationwide implications potentially?
That is an excellent question, and it is not clear. First of all, it isn't clear that Judge Frimpong's order from July applied nationally. It appears that it only applied in her judicial district in the Los Angeles area, and therefore it's not clear that the Supreme Court's decision lifting her temporary order has nationwide implications. That's a bit murky here. So I would say the Department of Justice will argue that the Supreme Court's ruling means they can detain people based on their language, their apparent race, and so forth anywhere in the country. But elsewhere in the country, the use of those factors had not been blocked, even temporarily. So I'm not sure it really makes a change in this case.
I'm a white guy. I speak English. I live here in the Pacific Northwest. If I'm somebody walking around, I don't need proof of citizenship, right? But if I'm a brown guy and maybe I have a Hispanic accent, a Mexican accent rather, I'm Hispanic. If I'm living in LA, should I be walking around with some sort of proof of citizenship at all times?
That's what folks down there are saying may be necessary, and they don't think that's right. We're not required to walk around with proof of citizenship on our persons. In some countries, it's advisable to do that, but it's never been true in the United States. So I don't know what people are doing down there. Are they trying to carry a passport with them or some other ID? It puts a lot of pressure on them, and it's creating a lot of anxiety, as you can imagine.
Would you expect legal challenges to this decision from the Supreme Court?
Well, no, not to this decision to lift the temporary order. That's the final word. But this case on what constitutes reasonable suspicion justifying an immigration stop, this is still on appeal at the Ninth Circuit. So this case may go back to the Supreme Court from the Ninth Circuit, either way, whichever way they rule, whether they rule the way Judge Frimpong did or overturn her. And then we'll see what the Supreme Court says in a reasoned, fully developed opinion about what constitutes reasonable suspicion for purposes of an immigration-related stop, and whether factors like race, language, location, et cetera, can be considered alone or in combination or not.
Okay. Certainly well worth keeping an eye on. Former State AG Rob McKenna. Rob, it's great having you back on the show, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much.
Warming up to 70 degrees today, but staying cloudy, 69 degrees and partly sunny tomorrow. Coming up, Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Our inbox is always open for your news tips and story ideas at mynorthwest.com. This is KIRO News Radio.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
Most roofers around here give you one option. 2 if you're lucky. Asphalt shingles and maybe metal. That's like going to a restaurant and the only thing on the menu is salad. Sure, there are a few kinds, but they're all pretty much the same, and none of them will keep you satisfied for long. I'm Jim Singletary, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, and we serve up real choices. Yeah, we do asphalt shingles, sure, but what about something more substantial, like EuroShield rubber tiles that last a lifetime? Or a beautiful, durable metal roof that can handle Seattle's weather like a champ. We even install cedar shake, stone, copper, and walkable rooftop decks. Most roofers stick to what's easy. At RoofSmart, we offer what's best for you. Now, those are what we call options. For anything is possible roofing, call RoofSmart at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com today. That's 206-487-4877 or online at GetRoofSmart.com.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA Home Loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, Thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Hollyride Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Manhunt on for the person who assassinated conservative activist and influencer Charlie Kirk during an outdoor appearance on the campus of Utah Valley University yesterday afternoon. Correspondent Carter Evans is near the scene about an hour from Salt Lake City.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News they believe the shot was fired from the nearby Losi Center rooftop, and they're searching for an individual in dark clothing. Video appears to show a figure on that rooftop across from where Kirk was shot, running away right afterward.
Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who knew Kirk, tells CBS Mornings.
He is not elected. He wasn't doing something wrong. This wasn't somebody that got upset with him and walked up and shot him. This was somebody who planned an assassination that had to have expertise to be able to do this.
Among the thousands of students who witnessed the murder, UVU sophomore Jordan Hatch.
Even if I don't agree with everything he says, I admire him deeply. He helped people to have a voice. He helped have discussions. He was probably the reason Trump won.
President Trump has ordered flags lowered to half staff. Vice President Vance is expected to visit Kirk's family in Salt Lake City. CBS's Nancy Cordes from Washington.
Here at the White House, this was really a death in the family. White House officials were in shock. We saw several of them in tears yesterday after the murder of Charlie Kirk. Many of them knew him personally. They considered him an inspiration.
New numbers from the Labor Department show inflation heated up at an annual rate of 2.9% in August. That's faster than in both June or July, as the cost of everything from clothing to used cars, gas to groceries rose. Tomatoes from Mexico, a standout. Their cost surged 3.3% after new tariffs kicked in. It's the last data reading the Federal Reserve will get before next week's meeting, when policymakers are finally expected to decide on an interest rate cut. At Ground Zero in New York, a remembrance underway 24 years after two hijacked planes slammed into the World Trade Center, killing 2,977 people there.
Jacqueline, Delane, Aldridge, Frederick.
David.
President Trump is expected to speak at the Pentagon today, where a third plane hit. Another service will be held in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where United Flight 93 crashed. New York police say they've arrested a man suspected of forcing his way into the home of an elderly couple in Queens on Monday, murdering them, then setting the place on fire. Officials initially thought he was invited into the home after asking to charge his phone. Dow futures up 84. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
6:03 Thursday morning. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
It's pretty foggy out there today, so just be prepared to watch your distances. Visibility is not going to be great. We got a couple of things to talk about to start today. Up in the Everett area, southbound 5, right before you get to 526 there. The Boeing Freeway, we've got the right lane blocked for a disabled vehicle. We've got a little bit of a backup behind it. 40 minutes already from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Over on the Kitsap side of things, getting into Bremerton's a little difficult this morning. I'm searching for a crash on northbound 3 just before you get to the shipyard off-ramp there into Bremerton. So we're backing up into Port Orchard through Gorst. So plan on some delays there. Hope to have some more information for you on that a little bit later on. Auburn to Renton is running right around 20 minutes, kind of an average day for you guys. 40 from Puyallup and then under 20 from Renton to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle's not too bad. 40 40 minutes to start the day. Olympia to Tacoma running at 35 minutes. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's 6:04. There's shock and sorrow over the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, and it drew hundreds of mourners to a prayer vigil at Seattle's Westlake Park.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake is here to tell us about that gathering and shares more local reaction to that deadly shooting.
Manda and Charlie, it was about 200 people, young, old, some young families. They all held candles and offered quiet prayers at this vigil organized by Russell Johnson. That's the youthful pastor of Pursuit Northwest Church and a friend of Kirk's. He told KIRO 7 News.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement, and he ended up paying with his life for the high crime of daring to voice a different opinion than what might be popular in culture.
As we know, Kirk co-founded the conservative youth organization Turning Point USA. This young mourner told KIRO 7 Kirk championed free speech.
And he would encourage the people who disagreed with him to step forward and have that dialogue, because all the worst events in America have happened when we stop talking to each other.
Now, not only in Seattle, but all across Washington, conservative and liberal leaders alike condemned violence as a response to political differences. Sierra Elliott is vice chair of Washington State Young Republicans.
If you want change politically, that can be settled at the ballot box. Violence is never the answer.
And in a statement on X, Democratic U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell writes, quote, "This kind of political violence has no place in America." Now, Kirk last appeared in Western Washington in May of 2024, last year, when he brought his Live Free College tour to the UW campus. That event drew both fans and counter-protesters, but there was no significant trouble. Charlie, Manda.
Thank you, Corwin. It's 6:06 now. Today also marks a significant anniversary in American history, 24 years since the September 11th attacks.
Nearly 3,000 lives were lost that day, and here in Seattle, the Space Needle will host a flag-raising ceremony at 7:30 this morning, a tribute to the victims and the first responders who ran toward danger. After that, firefighters from across the region will climb the Needle stairs to the height of the fallen World Trade Center towers. They'll do it in full gear to symbolically carry each fallen hero to the top. For a complete list of events in the area marking 9/11, go to mynorthwest.com.
Seattle police are making more use of the city's soda and soap zones, which are designed to keep people out of certain neighborhoods who are convicted of drug and prostitution, respectively. The zones weren't used much in the first 3 months of their existence, but City Attorney Ann Davidson says prosecutors have now used the soda zone 115 times and soap 32.
This is to respond to the criminal enterprise of people looking to profiteer literally off the backs of other humans, and we are going to not have that happen in the North End.
Critics argue that zones don't work. According to the Seattle Times, Erica Evans, who's trying to unseat Davison in November, is against these zones.
For over 50 years, this is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us on Seattle's Morning News. It's Thursday, September 11th, a day we won't forget in history.
24 years.
24 years, and just a shocking past 24 hours or so.
It's going to be a heavy day, but we're going to get you where you need to go. Chris Sully is here to watch your drive every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank is here in the studio with us, too.
And we have Nick Krasia running the control room board this morning, and Corwin Hake is covering for Luke Ducey. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And coming up this hour of the show, Sully, you have a choke point for us.
Yeah, I do. We're going to talk about the closures that are going to come to DuPont next week because of some pretty sizable girders they're putting up for the new interchange there at the Steilacoom-DuPont Road.
And an manhunt is underway right now for whoever killed Charlie Kirk. We'll speak with CBS crime and public safety reporter Anna Schechter about it.
It's now 6:08. The 24 states, including Washington, recently received requests from the Department of Justice to turn over a full copy of the Washington State Voter Registration Database within 14 days to be used in criminal and immigration-related investigations.
And KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has reaction from Washington Attorney General Nick Brown.
The request came from the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, asking for full names, dates of birth, addresses, driver's license numbers, or the last 4 digits of Social Security numbers. AG Nick Brown says the request is not about election integrity, it's about control.
If you can control elections, then you can control the future of his policy priorities, and we can't let that happen.
Brown says if the request is legal, the state will comply. If not, everything will be done to protect Washingtonians. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police say a blood trail led them straight to a stabbing suspect's apartment. It started about 7:45 yesterday evening near Denny Park when officers found a man collapsed in front of their patrol car. He had been stabbed multiple times during a fight on a Metro bus. The victim was rushed to Harborview with life-threatening injuries. Officers followed that blood trail to a hallway on the 6th floor of an apartment building on Dexter. That's where a man called 911 saying he needed help after being attacked on a bus. Well, police arrested him on the spot. Investigators say the two men fought before the stabbing. It's unclear if they knew each other.
Stanwood has hit pause on its license plate cameras. The city turned off its flock safety system after just 4 months of use. Now it's asking a judge whether footage counts as a public record. Question came up after someone requested an hour of footage from March 30th. According to the Everett Herald, Stanwood and Cedro Woolley both got requests from the same person, Jose Rodriguez. Rodriguez is now suing Stanwood, saying the city broke the Public Records Act. City says it's trying to protect privacy and follow the law. A court will decide what happens next.
The Salvation Army is teeing up support today for addiction recovery with its annual Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament. It's at Echo Falls Golf Club in Snohomish. The event raises money for a free inpatient program in North Seattle that helps people overcome substance abuse. Captain John Kelly says last year, 29 men completed the program.
Every single one of them have experienced the trauma and just the hardships of life, have went through this program and completed it and turned around and dedicated their lives for the time being to serving the next man in recovery.
It costs about $10,000 to graduate one person. The Salvation Army's goal is to raise $100,000. You can find out more by going to kingcounty.salvationarmy.org.
Seattle's mayor wants to spend $80 million to fight gentrification. Bruce Harrell says the money would help black families with housing costs and down payments. He's calling it an anti-gentrification and reparations fund. The idea is to push back against racist housing rules and redlining from Seattle's past. The plan is part of his 2026 budget proposal. City Council would need to approve it. According to the Seattle Times, Harrell will share more details later this month.
Oh, the Mariners broke out the brooms late last night, sweeping aside the St. Louis Cardinals in a 3-game series. It was not easy. It took 13 innings before Mariners second baseman Leo Rivas decided to send everyone home happy.
Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Leo. Not Buddy swinging. Fly ball. Deep right field down the line. Walk it off. Leo Rivas. A walk-off 2-run home run. Good. Bye. Baseball. The Mariners sweep the Cardinals in the 3-game series.
Well, that was worth a wait through 13 innings, wasn't it? The Mariners have now won 5 games in a row. They'll look to keep the good vibes rolling tonight as they take on the Los Angeles Angels at T-Mobile. First pitch, 6:40. Of course, you can catch all the coverage on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
At 6:12, let's get a check on weather brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. We say good morning to Nick Allard.
We have quite a bit of fog out there this morning, especially around SEA North. But everybody will see at the very least low clouds to start the day. If not just low clouds, also some fog and then some clearing. But the way I think it'll be is you'll see fog and reduced visibility probably through about 10 a.m. And then that fog lifts into a low cloud deck. And then that's going to hold through probably about 1 to 2 in the afternoon. So I think then you see some sunshine, but through lunchtime, it's cloudy. So foggy now and picks up a little bit as you get closer to about 10 or 11. And then we're only going to see sun breaks at noon and then more sunshine after about 1 to 2. Highs will be in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Same plan tomorrow. Low clouds again, and in the afternoon, we'll see some sunshine, only about 70 or so. I do think we get warmer on Saturday, which is nice, with at least partly to mostly sunny skies. And then by Sunday, we're going to see some rain, at least some spotty areas of rain, probably around 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch with cooler temps in the upper 60s. Be dry, though, after a little bit of moisture early Monday. We're dry Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you got it all. You got some fog, you got some clouds, you got some rain, you got some sun, you got some Charlie.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Thank you, Nick. Right now in Seattle, it is 56 and cloudy at 6:13.
And that is time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the 3s, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
And that fog that Nick mentioned is pretty thick up in the Snohomish County area, just kind of layering over I-5 at this point. Good news for those of you coming out of the Everett area. The stall that had blocked the right lane right as you get to the Boeing Freeway has cleared out of the way. Still have about a 40-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. We're also working with this with a crash, and I could use some help from my KIRO drivers over in Kitsap. As you're trying to get up into the Bremerton area on northbound 3, we've got to back up before we get right into Bremerton, and we're extending back all the way onto westbound 16 through Port Orchard. So plan on some delays there, but I could use some help as to what's blocking in that area. We also have a crash on northbound I-5 in DuPont, blocking the right-hand lane as you come up the hill. Got about a 40-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma, and then Federal Way to Seattle's under 45 minutes. That's pretty decent. The Valley Freeway, 42 minutes to run from end to end, and then Renton to Bellevue is running 20. So all in all, we're not in that bad a shape. This report brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damage to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online, digsafewa.com.
At 6:15, this one's for the Cougar fans. The party doesn't stop with the tailgate anymore. Jillian Raftery is here to explain.
That's right, Charlie. We need some good news this morning. You will now be able to buy beer and wine when you head to WSU Cougar home football games. Just yesterday, the State Cannabis and Liquor Board approved a pilot program which will allow beer and wine to be sold throughout the stadium, just no alcohol allowed in the student section. Board Chair Jim Vollendroff is a fan of the change.
We've seen from other collegiate facilities in our state and across the country that when done responsibly, alcohol service can be managed in a way that enhances the fan experience without compromising health and safety.
Husky Stadium has had those alcohol sales since 2021.
Okay, thank you, Jillian. It's 6:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
Bringing you Seattle's Morning News since 1974. This is KIRO News Radio.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We're continuing, of course, to monitor the situation in Utah, where a manhunt is underway for whoever shot Charlie Kirk yesterday, killing him. We're going to check in really quickly with the feed coming out of Utah with Bo Mason. He is the commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety.
And those people and that investigative process, they don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., this subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual.
That is Bo Mason. He is the commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety. He's speaking right now. Manda, I think the headline here is that they have video of the suspect. They have not captured him.
Big breakthroughs overnight. So we will keep you posted here on KIRO News Radio.
6:19 now. We're going to check in with Sully with his choke point brought to us by Carter Subaru. And Sully, you're saying the state's newest freeway overpass is being born in Pierce County.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to provide presents, you can just address them to me, and I'll make sure they get to DOT. Nightly lane and ramp closures are going to begin on I-5 near the Stillicum-DuPont Road on Monday. They're going to last through next weekend, including several overnight hours when southbound I-5 is going to be down to just one lane. The Washington Department of Transportation is building a new freeway interchange there. You might remember that the freeway was almost entirely closed for a weekend in April when the girders were put up over I-5. This weekend, or this next weekend, I should say, the contractor is adding the rest of the girders, which will take the overpass over the railroad tracks just west of the freeway.
Previously, people in the area saw us put down the backbone or the girders for the overpass. Now we've reached the point where we're going to be extending the overpass by placing the girders over the Sound Transit line.
WashDOT's Doug Adamson says moving these girders is no easy feat.
We'll be bringing in 17 long pieces of steel and concrete, and they're more than 150 feet long, so quite the process to get them there to the construction zone, and each one of them weighs about 170,000 pounds.
The contractor is actually going to be moving these girders through DuPont, so drivers can expect some intermittent traffic holds and stops in the week during those overnight hours.
This work will have substantial effects for people who are using Interstate 5 still. Expect a number of lane closures in the area, but we're going to have to route those girders in through town. We'll have some ramp closures there at the Stillicum-DuPont Road, so a large pardon our dust as we reach this key stage in construction.
You can find the current schedule at mynorthwest.com so you can plan your trips. Again, this starts Monday and goes through the following weekend. This is another spot. Remember earlier in this week we talked about one spot where trains impact our freeway up in the Everett area? Well, the tracks are just west of the off-ramps here at the Stillicum-DuPont Road, and so that backs up onto the freeway sometimes when Sound Transit is rolling through, or Amtrak at that point. This new interchange will go over the tracks to eliminate that.
When we open this early next year, we will have a new overpass which will remove that at-grade conflict and give people that ability to drive over there and not having to stop for trains.
This project not only includes the new overpass, but it will also extend the HOV lane from where it ends at the JBLM main gate down through DuPont. Completion on this is expected sometime early to mid next spring.
Okay, with the HOV lanes, is the hope they actually are effective? Because right now, past JBLM, it does not work.
No, because when you not only do you lose that lane, but then you also lose the lane to the right as an exit only there, and you go down from basically 5 lanes down to 4, down to 3. They're hoping, again, this will probably just end up move that traffic choke point down to the DuPont Center Drive until they finish the HOV lane all the way through Nisqually, which is the plan over the next 10 years.
I was just going to say, what, in 10 years?
Yeah, because they have to rebuild the Nisqually River Bridge, which they're in the
boy.
process of thinking about how they do and how they're going to fund and what's the best way to go. But yeah, they're just going to be moving that choke point a little bit further to the south. But boy, that HOV lane is going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Sure it will be.
But yeah, so watch out for major girders overnight next week and into the following weekend.
Okay, you can check out Sully's article on this on mynorthwest.com. It is 6:23 now, and that makes it time to check traffic. Where do we start, Sully?
Well, we're going to start over in the Port Orchard, Gorst, and Bremerton area. We have a crash, my drivers are telling me, is in the right-hand lane, blocking northbound 3, right as you get to the exit to the shipyard there, to the downtown Bremerton. And we're backed up all the way through Port Orchard. We've got about a 4.5-mile backup here, and I would guess it's probably a 20-minute delay minimum. That's just my best guesstimate at this point. So if you're trying to head up into Bremerton at this point, you're going to have a pretty rough go. Down in the DuPont area, surprisingly, kind of where those girders are going in, we do have a crash blocking the right lane just after Center Drive. So that's causing the slowing coming up out of Lacey. Got about a 40-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma. Once you're through that, it's a pretty good drive all the way into Tacoma. And then the Federal Way to Seattle drive's running right around 45 minutes. Valley Freeway getting closer to 45 minutes now to go from end to end. The heaviest spot there, right there through Auburn. Northbound 405, the Renton S-curve starting to heat up a bit, little over 20 minutes to make that drive. Coming down for the north end, you're going to need about 45 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 43 from Everett to Seattle. A lot more yellow on the map, but we're getting to that point on that drive out of Snohomish County where we're probably going to start turning things into the red. This report brought to you by AAA. AAA of Washington membership unlocks epic roadside rescues, hundreds of local perks and discounts, travel and insurance expertise, and somehow more. Join today.
We're starting the day with some clouds and fog in spots, as 73 will be our high with some peaks of sunshine by afternoon. Tomorrow staying mostly cloudy, but again some sun breaks, and 70. Here come the showers on Sunday morning, only 69 on Sunday. And right now, foggy and 57 in Seattle.
Coming up, we'll have the latest on the manhunt underway for the shooter who killed activist Charlie Kirk in Utah yesterday. Plus, we'll have the opening bell report. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield, terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
The Seahawks hit the road for the first time this season in hostile Pittsburgh. Seahawks, Steelers, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Summer's fast approaching, which makes this the perfect time to get ready for the busy season with help from WaFd Bank. Get ahead of the game with services like payment processing so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever way they want to pay. Plus, get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support so you can get back to the important stuff. WaFd Bank has the knowledge and experience to make your business goals a reality. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
CBS News special report. The FBI and Utah police are updating their investigation into yesterday's fatal shooting of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Utah Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason says the gunman fired from a rooftop.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
The search for the gunman goes on. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was a longtime friend of Charlie Kirk.
He is not elected. He wasn't doing something wrong. This wasn't somebody that got upset with him and walked up and shot him. This was somebody who planned an assassination that had to have expertise to be able to do this.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who was shot in 2017, told CBS Mornings Americans should not respond to political disagreements with violence.
Celebrate the fact that we have differences and we can freely express them.
President Trump tells CNBC Kirk could have been president one day. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
It's 6:31. Here in downtown Seattle, a solemn gathering to mourn the murdered conservative celebrity Charlie Kirk. It included some fiery political speech-making.
And with that part of the story, here's KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake.
And guys, the event at Seattle's Westlake Park was billed as a candlelight prayer vigil. And indeed, the 200 or so attendees lifted candles and listened to faith music as a number of speakers paid tribute to the 31-year-old co-founder of the Turning Point USA Youth Movement.
Charlie was a revolutionary. He just told the truth.
That's Russell Wilson, event organizer and pastor of Pursuit Northwest Church. His remarks from the stage last night also included harsh criticism of Seattle city government and local mainstream media.
You can go ahead, media, and write whatever BS articles you want. The people of God are not backing down because we are not the problem in this city. We are the answer to the problem in this city.
Russell Johnson was a friend of Kirk's, and they shared a passion for mixing conservative political activism with Christian faith. But last night's visual was not a partisan event, not billed that way, but as an opportunity for Kirk's many local admirers to process their feelings. Charlie.
Okay, we will continue to follow that part of the story throughout the day. We're getting reaction from leaders on both sides of the aisle here in Washington. Democratic Governor Bob Ferguson posting on social media that violence is never the answer. And his Republican Representative Michael Baumgartner is calling on people on both sides of the aisle to tone down the rhetoric.
When you inflame things, then some folks feel that as a justification for violence. And so everybody needs to do better on that front.
He spoke with the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM.
It's now 6:33. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, what's happening?
Well, we've got about a 5-mile backup now trying to get from through Port Orchard in and around Gorst up into Bremerton. We've been working with a crash on northbound 3 blocking the right-hand lane. It has just cleared, but the damage is done. We're backed up all the way to Sedgwick. Got some drivers in there who have been barely moving for about the last 40 minutes. That's how bad that delay is. So this is going to take a while to clear out, but the right lane has reopened. That's about our one spot of bother on the map. I mean, we do have some slowing getting into DuPont. This crash we have is on the right-hand shoulder, right past Center Drive. So the slowing is kind of localized there right around that exit-only lane through the construction zone. About 40 minutes to get you up into Tacoma. Federal Way to Seattle, 45 minutes now. Renton to Bellevue is getting closer to a half an hour as we're starting to see a lot more action up through SR 900. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, 45 minutes to go from Puyallup up into Renton. Coming down from the north end, seeing the brake lights now in Canyon Park, pretty heavy there. 45 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 42 from Everett to Seattle. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service, 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone or visit suplinen.com.
We're expecting partly sunny skies by the afternoon, highs in the low 70s. We continue this pattern through the next couple of days, maybe some fog along the way as well. First chance of rain or showers on Sunday with highs in the low 70s that day. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 56.
And it's 6:35. That's time for the opening bell report. Gas prices in Washington are climbing, and there's one more reason why. AAA says the statewide average is $4.61 a gallon, second only to California, $4.78 in Seattle. Refinery issues and seasonal maintenance are tightening supply across the West Coast. But critics say Washington's carbon pricing program is also driving costs. The state's latest auction under the Climate Commitment Act raised carbon prices to $64.30 per ton. They say that translates to about 57 cents per gallon in added fuel costs.
And within the past few minutes, we've gotten a look at the Consumer Price Index. This is the inflation from year over year, and it went up 2.9% from August 2024 to August 2025. Also, at the same time, we are seeing the weekly jobless claims jump. It's 6:36 now here on Seattle's Morning News. The Labor Department's watchdog is launching a review into how jobs reports are generated.
The Labor Department Inspector General's office is launching a probe into how the Bureau of Labor Statistics collects and reports economic data. It comes a day after the agency released one of the largest downward revisions to its payroll estimates, finding that the U.S. labor market added more than 900,000 fewer jobs in the 12-month period ending in March 2025 than previously reported.
Now, last month, the president fired the former Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner following the release of a disappointing July jobs report.
Elon Musk's AI company is coming to the Puget Sound area. XAI is looking for office space on the east side. Musk announced the move last week on his social media platform, X. The company's posted 3 open jobs so far, some paying up to $440,000 a year. XAI joins other Bay Area AI firms setting up shop here. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, there's no word yet how much space they want. Musk already has a big footprint here with SpaceX.
The cost of owning a home is still on the rise, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Here's CBS News correspondent Jennifer Kuiper.
The median monthly owner costs for U.S. homeowners with a mortgage increased 3.8% from 2023 to 2024. Census Bureau economist Jacob Fabina says one way they measure housing affordability is based on how much households spend on costs such as mortgage payments, insurance, taxes, utilities, and various fees. Costs for renters also jumped. Median gross rent, that's rent plus the cost of utilities, adjusted for inflation, increased 2.7% from 2023 to 2024. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Well, trading's underway on Wall Street. Stocks are higher to start the day. The Dow up about 194 points at 45,684. S&P 500 up 20, and the Nasdaq is up 63.
Now, word here for KIRO 7. Back to school means 10,000 buses, over 1 million students, and 60,000 teachers all hitting our roads. Even if you don't have kids, your morning routine just got a wake-up call. With KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes, you'll be totally prepared and know what to expect before it hits. From breaking news to changing skies and slowdowns you wouldn't see coming, KIRO 7 News in the Morning has your back to school. Watch weekdays 4:30 to 7 a.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
It's now 6:38. The Department of Justice is asking Washington State to turn over all voter information, including names, addresses, and driver's license numbers. The DOJ says it wants to assess Washington's compliance with federal voting laws. Here's Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
If the request is illegal, then we will oppose it. If there is a legal basis for the request, then we will abide with the law.
Reuters reports Homeland Security wants the voter data to investigate immigrants.
It's 6:39 now, and Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the 5-mile backup, now 6-mile backup on westbound 16 to northbound 3 getting into Bremerton. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
6:43 now, and Chris Sullivan is checking traffic for us.
And we have a couple things to tell you about, Charlie, that we're working with. The biggest one is over getting into the Bremerton area. We have about a 6-mile backup now before Sedgwick on westbound Highway 16, getting through Port Orchard all the way around the corner through Gorst and up into Bremerton, where we had a crash on northbound 3 just before you got to the Bremerton off-ramp there. It was in the right-hand lane, but it is cleared. My drivers are reporting 30 to 40-minute delays through the area, and that's not a good spot to have a crash. There just isn't any room to go anywhere, so just plan on big-time delays if your destination is Bremerton. The other spot is on northbound I-5 getting into and through the DuPont area. We're really heavy through Lacey now up to the scene of this crash. That's over on the right-hand side, right as you get to Center Drive. It's about 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. That's plus 10. Then you have Federal Way to Seattle of about 50 minutes, kind of average for this time of day. Valley Freeways, 45 to 50, depending on how you hit the volume at the north end. Right now, the heaviest part of that drive is in Auburn. Renton to Bellevue is getting closer to a half an hour. The Lake Bridges, though, are fine. Coming down from the north end, we do have brake lights away from Linwood. Give yourself 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle, about 50 from Everett to Bellevue. And there's also some off and on slowing on westbound 522, not only across the Snohomish River where we lose the bridge, but down through the Echo Falls area, working your way into Maltby. This report brought to you by FlySeaportAir.com. Seaport Airlines offering high-frequency shuttle service between Boeing Field and Portland. Use fall 2025. Save 20% off. Book now. FlySeaportAir.com.
Kind of feels like fall this morning. We're seeing some fog in spots, but some sunshine eventually. 73 for the high in the afternoon. For tomorrow, Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, but again, sun breaks for the afternoon, 70. Looks like our next chance of showers rolls in Sunday morning. We'll stay around 69 for Sunday. Right now, foggy and 57 in Seattle.
6:45 now. 24 years ago at this hour, it was a day that changed American history forever. Jillian Raftery is here.
Good morning. 3,000 people died as a result of the September 11th attacks on New York, a day that we will never forget. And at fire stations all across Seattle, firefighters are going to be reading the names of the hundreds of first responders who died and raising the American flag at 9 a.m. in their honor. In Stanwood, a fire engine processional will depart from Station 99 at 9 a.m., traveling east along SR 532. You'll notice a lot taking place at 9 a.m. That's because the plane that hit the South Tower hit at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. The first impact was 8:46 a.m., so a lot of symbolism in the events taking place today. You can find these events and more at mynorthwest.com. All of them are open to the public, so everyone can pay their respects.
Okay, Jillian, thank you. At 6:45 now. And coming up, CBS crime and public safety reporter Anna Schechter will join us. There are new developments this morning in the manhunt for the person who killed Charlie Kirk.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Milgard window specialists who've been trained by Milgard to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms. Or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Did you know that your windows and doors are your main source of energy loss? At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, our windows with triple weather stripping and gasket seals are up to 25% more efficient than Energy Star standards. LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Upgrade your home's energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Details at LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
6:49 now. Thousands of students are left traumatized after witnessing the shooting death of political activist Charlie Kirk.
Now, some are questioning the security that was at the event. Daniela Rivera from our sister station KSL-TV has more.
I didn't have to show any tickets. I didn't know there were tickets going on.
When Emma Robin learned political activist Charlie Kirk was speaking at her school's campus today, she decided to join the crowd to hear what he had to say.
I just happened to walk in.
She says aside from guards standing near Kirk, she didn't see any other security measures in place.
I thought it was very weird because, it is a higher political person, and not having any security is kind of weird to me, especially on a college campus.
This is the police chief's nightmare.
Asked about what security for the event looked like, UVU Police Chief Jeff Long said his department had 6 officers present and some wearing plain clothes in the crowd of about 3,000.
Try to get your bases covered, and unfortunately today we didn't.
This should not be happening again. It's too traumatic.
While she didn't see the shooting, Emma heard it, and panic set in as people around her started to run.
And that's all I can hear right now. It's just that gunshot on repeat. I hear it over and over and over.
In what is a place meant for learning and exchanging ideas, the experience has left her feeling less safe on campus.
And KSL is reporting that you just learned a few moments ago, Vice President J.D. Vance is traveling to Salt Lake City today to show his support to those impacted by the shooting. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story. Investigators are making progress as they try to find the shooter. At a news conference this morning, Utah Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason said investigators have been able to track the shooter's movements as he came on campus and left after Kirk was fatally shot. And Robert Bowles with the FBI says the shooting weapon used in the assassination has been recovered.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon.
As that horrific situation was unfolding in Utah, shots were fired at Evergreen High School in Evergreen, Colorado. 2 students there wounded before police say the teenage shooter turned the gun on himself.
Officers say they did not fire upon the suspect who fatally shot himself. Whether the suspect knew the victims is under investigation as police search for a motive.
Obviously, we're going to focus on that suspect's home, his car, his locker, all the things that we need to do to find out more about him and maybe why this happened.
The student body of more than 900 started the school year less than a month ago. The sheriff's office said many of those students witnessed the shooting.
I have so much more year. I have more years to live for this, and I'm just grateful that I'm here.
Closer to home, two families are suing over a deadly crash at a Tacoma intersection. Como TV reports a crash happened in July of last year at State Route 509 and Alexander Avenue. A Kia ran a red light and was hit by a speeding BMW. 6 people died, including 2 men, whose families are now suing the city of Tacoma, the state transportation department, and the BMW driver. The lawsuit claims the intersection is confusing and dangerous, especially for out-of-town drivers. Since 2023, there have been 42 crashes in that area.
It's now 6:53 and time to check the roads. So we check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, if I had a magic carpet, I would give it to my friends like Sheila and all the others who are stuck on westbound 16 right now. They're basically not moving, trying to get through into and through Port Orchard, around the corner into Gorst and up into Bremerton. What we had was a crash that blocked the right lane as you got up towards the Bremerton exit. That has cleared. The backup now starts, it's well before Sedgwick at this point, getting down towards Mullinex, and it goes all the way around the corner in Gorse before breaking free. It's at least 6 miles, and I would guess a 45-minute delay through that area. Sheila's hasn't moved in 20, so I hate to tell you, but I think you probably got double that to sit and wait through you go through there. That's our biggest issue on the board, and it's on the other side of the water. On this side, we do have a pretty lengthy backup and a 10-minute delay on northbound I-5 getting through Nisqually up the hill to DuPont. Crash in the right-hand lane, not blocking, but there's enough going on there that it's kind of working with that exit-only lane there past Center Drive, and so we're backed up. Give yourself 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. The Federal Way to Seattle Drive running right around 50 minutes. No surprises for you guys there. The Renton S-Curve's got about a 30-minute trip for you. By the time you're up past 44th, it's a pretty decent drive. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, 45 minutes from end to end, which is pretty decent. Coming down from the north end, we do have some really heavy brake lights on westbound 2 and 204 getting to the east side of the trestle. It thins out as you go across the trestle. It looks like we might have a little crash by the Snohomish River. Checking into that and have more for you in 10 minutes. Once you get over to I-5 or 405, we've got about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube. Click subscribe and get fresh video content daily.
And the Seahawks season is underway. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the game on September 21st. All you need to do, just open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text APP, APP, to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, the 15th.
And our forecast, we're starting the day pretty cloudy with some fog in spots, but eventually some sunshine by afternoon. 73 today. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and 70. Showers roll in on Sunday morning. It's 57 and foggy in Seattle right now.
Coming up, an early edition of the Rick Riz Show. Exciting finish for the M's last night, and that playoff race is heating up. We'll talk to Rick about that at 7:15. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother Unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Investigators report progress in their search for the gunman who assassinated conservative activist and influencer Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University yesterday. The FBI's special agent in charge, Robert Bowles.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon.
They believe the killer fired from the top of a building, then jumped off the roof and ran into a neighborhood. Utah Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason.
The suspect blended in well with a college institution. That individual appears to be of college age.
He says they're analyzing video footage as well as a footprint, hand, and forearm impressions. Kirk left behind a wife and 2 young children. Vice President Vance is expected to visit the family in Salt Lake City today. President Trump has just announced he will award the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Charlie Kirk.
We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who survived a politically motivated attack at a congressional baseball practice in 2017, tells CBS Mornings.
Celebrate the fact that we have differences and we can freely express them.
Today marks 24 years since the September 11th attacks. President Trump is attending a ceremony at the Pentagon right now where 125 people were killed. There's another ongoing at Ground Zero in New York City.
Hundreds are gathered at the World Trade Center site in New York City to remember the nearly 3,000 people who died there 24 years ago. The names of the victims are being read aloud.
Richard Anthony Aceto.
Bernard Ackerman.
There have been 2 moments of silence marking the precise times 2 planes were flown into the Twin Towers.
Americans were paying more for just about everything last month. New numbers from the Labor Department show consumer prices were up by an annual rate of 2.9%. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
If we look at food, huge changes within that category. For example, if you eat at home, 2.7% price increase. You go out to a full-service restaurant, it's going to cost you 4.6% more than it did a year ago.
It's all expected to pose a challenge for the Fed, which meets next week to weigh its first interest rate cut of the year. Dow's up 423 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
7:03 Thursday morning. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And our biggest issue is over across the water, getting into Bremerton, actually getting into and through Port Orchard, Gorst, and into Bremerton. We had a long-term crash on northbound 3 getting into Bremerton. It has cleared, but we have a backup that extends well before Sedgwick Road, about 5 miles worth of a backup that extends all the way to the intersection in Gorst. My drivers are reporting anywhere from 30 to 40-minute delays going through the area. So if your travels are taking you into Bremerton today, you're going to need at least an extra half an hour minimum. Once you get over to this side of the lake, on this side of the water, if you're going here and there, we've got some braking through DuPont, earlier crash near Center Drive, about 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. Then Federal Way to Seattle's getting closer to an hour, but nothing super significant in the way. The Valley Freeway, 50 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is closer to a half an hour, 50 minutes as well from Everett to Bellevue, about 45 from Everett to Seattle. So really not bad out of Snohomish County. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
It's 7:04. Violence is never the answer to political disagreements.
That is the message voiced by many who attended a candlelight vigil in downtown Seattle to honor Mislaine conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
And we have more now from KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake.
Charlie Manda, about 200 people of all ages turned out at Seattle's Westlake Park for the Kirk vigil. This young admirer told KIRO 7 News Kirk rejected political violence in favor of civil debate.
And he would encourage the people who disagreed with him to step forward and have that dialogue, because all the worst events in America have happened when we stop talking to each other.
Political figures attended and spoke at the vigil, among them Representative Jim Walz, chair of the state GOP. He honored Kirk as one who held firm to his ideals.
And he knew that despite all, you have to find a philosophical or faith foundation that allows you to be a good person in an imperfect world. That's what he was. That's how he lived. That's how he died.
Another state Republican, Senate Leader John Braun, condemned political violence in a decidedly bipartisan fashion. In a statement, Braun said, quote, "In America, we cannot shoot or physically attack people we politically disagree with." And he went on to name not just Kirk, but also 2 Democrats, the late Minnesota Representative Melissa Hortman and Minnesota Senator John Hoffman, killed and wounded, respectively, in a politically motivated shooting last May. Charlie, Manda.
Thank you, Corwin. We'll continue to follow this story. President Trump, speaking at a 9/11 memorial right now, just said he will posthumously honor Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Across the country, public memorials pay tribute to the 3,000 people who died in the September 11th attacks. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is in Seattle, where firefighters will climb the stairs of the Space Needle and raise the American flag.
Now, if you'd like to pay your respects at a ceremony a little closer to you, there are several in our area. Down in Tacoma, there's a 9/11 remembrance ceremony at the Fallen Firefighters Memorial on the Ruston Way waterfront at 9 o'clock this morning. Also happening up north in Stanwood, flags will be placed along State Route 32. Then at 9 o'clock this morning, a fire engine processional will go from Station 99 up there to 72nd Avenue Northwest. You can also stop by Station 46 in Arlington. That way you can sign a guest book and pay respects at their memorial there.
And for a list of events, you can go to mynorthwest.com.
Coming up on 707, President Trump continues to talk about sending federal troops into blue cities, including Seattle, to fight rampant crime. But will Washington cooperate?
Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
He's done it in D.C., he's done it in L.A., and President Trump is threatening to do it in Seattle. ICE agents, the National Guard, or military troops. Washington AG Nick Brown believes the takeovers are not about crime at all.
That's not really what they're after. They're after creating a military state in American cities.
Brown says everything that can be done will be done to protect Washington citizens. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. It is Thursday, September 11th. Obviously, a day we'll never forget in this country.
She is Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger. Sully is here checking traffic this morning. Obviously, we are not only following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We'll continue talking about that through the morning, but today is September 11th.
Yes. Jillian Raftery is at the news desk. Nick Krish is at the control room running the board.
Okay, so a lot of heavy news today. We will give you all the information you need, get you going on your Thursday morning. A lot of tonal shifts throughout the day today because not only the heavy news, but we'll also have some playoff news. For the Mariners, Rick Risch show is coming up. They are just one game behind in the AL West. So we'll go over that with Rick. Also have a commentary today.
Yeah, coming up at 7:35.
We'll talk about that and the 24th anniversary of 9/11.
It's 7:08. Seattle police are making sure use of the city's soda and soap zones meant to keep people convicted of drug or prostitution offenses out of certain areas. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports those zones didn't get much use in their first 3 months.
City Attorney Ann Davison says since then, though, prosecutors have used the soda zone 115 times, soap 32.
Because it took some time to implement, training, et cetera, for officers. And so now we're seeing it on a more regular basis.
Critics say the zones don't work. And the Seattle Times reports Erica Evans, who is running against Davison, opposes them. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Critics of a proposed new crisis care center on Seattle's First Hill say King County needs a less troubled location.
Putting this in this particular location in a neighborhood that's under-policed and overwhelmed with bad activity is a mistake.
As Matt Corsay addressing the city county council yesterday, the walk-in mental health crisis center would open at 1145 Broadway. Helping people rebuild their lives is the goal of this week's Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament hosted by the Salvation Army. Captain John Kelly says proceeds support a recovery program that offers housing, counseling, and job training.
They get so many pieces of their lives back.
One graduate says it gave him the tools to start fresh and launch a culinary career. Golfers will tee off this morning at 8:30 at the Echo Falls Golf Club in Snohomish. Goal this year is to raise $100,000, enough to put 10 people through the program. Still time to register. Go to kingcounty.salvationarmy.org.
A man is in jail after Seattle police followed a trail of blood to his apartment. SPD says it started with a stabbing on a Metro bus near Denny Park about 7:45 last night. The victim collapsed in front of officers when they arrived. He was taken to Harborview with serious injuries. Police tracked the blood to a 6th-floor hallway on Dexter. That's where they found a man who had just called 911 saying he'd been attacked on the bus. Turns out he was the suspect. Investigators say the stabbing followed a fight between the two. It's not clear if they knew each other. The 35-year-old suspect is now booked for investigation of assault.
Thousands of Washington National Guard soldiers skipped training last weekend to save money. Washington State Standard reports the Guard is dealing with a budget shortfall. Officials say about half of the 5,000 scheduled soldiers were excused from the drill. The other half trained for part of the weekend. One reason for the shortfall, the federal government pulled back $3 million in funding earlier this year. That money was redirected to other missions, including deployments to Washington, D.C., Guard leaders say readiness has not been compromised.
Stanwood's license plate cameras are offline for now. The city shut down its flock safety system after getting a public records request. Someone asked for 1 hour of footage from March 30th. That person, Jose Rodriguez, is now suing Stanwood for not handing it over. The city says it wants a judge to decide if the footage is public or private. According to the Everett Herald, Cedro Woolley is also involved after getting a similar request. Stanwood spent $92,000 on the cameras last fall. They were only active for about 4 months. Now the legal fight begins.
Big series win for the Mariners. They swept the Cardinals in a 13th inning win last night.
Here's the stretch, and the 0-1 on the way to Polanco. Swinging a line drive, right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Naylor Ronnie, third being waved in. He'll score. Tie game. Polanco to second. Goes in, standing up with an RBI double. Jorge doesn't waste any time. He ties it up at 2-2. And the Mariners have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 11th inning. A double for Jorge Polanco.
And they went on to win in the 13th. It's just an exciting time. You saw the stats, right?
Yes.
84% chance the Mariners make the playoffs. And
jinxed it.
Not to be overly specific, 41.3% chance of winning the AL West. Not 0.4. 0.3% chance of winning it all in the AL West. They play the Angels today. This is going to be a big one. They start the play at 6:40 tonight, and you can catch it on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
Eventually, it'll be a nice day for baseball. Let's get to our weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. However, KIRO 7's Nick Allard, it kind of feels like fall this morning.
Sure does. Yeah, it's cloudy. It's kind of misty. We have a lot of fog out there as well, and it's really going to take a while to lift today. So you can count on finding cloudy conditions, foggy conditions, a little misty at times just for the first half of the day. I'm thinking cloudy or mostly cloudy by noon, and then we get closer to about 2 o'clock, and you should start to see some sunshine. Call it partly cloudy later today. Although I'm thinking the southwest interior of the state, if you get to like Elma, Porter, Montesano, McClary, those spots might just stay cloudy like the coast. I'll say about 70 to 73. Tomorrow, it's the exact same plan. I think you're going to be about 70 again, and then afternoon sun. This weekend, I think Saturday is looking pretty nice with at least partly to mostly sunny conditions in the mid-70s, say about 75. Nice day. And then in the upper 60s and lower 70s on Sunday, and you got actual rain moving through. So you're going to see some increasing clouds Saturday night and some pockets of rain, areas of spotty rain at least on Sunday. Drying out next week. We'll be back into the low 70s with some sunshine for the afternoon. But yeah, it looks like the heat might be finished, and we do have some rain, which is much needed on the way for Sunday.
Can you say that again, please? The heat might be finished?
Charlie has paid me to never, ever repeat myself.
Yeah. In fact, it's double now, Nick.
I'll say it
You should have
again.
seen me on the air a few minutes ago trying to say the city Pasashtian. I basically forgot how to speak, and I couldn't do it. So you don't want me to repeat myself.
Okay, I'll say it. The heat is over.
Heat is over!
It's cloudy.
Take that, Charlie!
Aw, man.
Cloudy and foggy and 57 right now.
It's 7:14. Sully is at the traffic desk.
And we have a 6-mile backup to chew through on westbound 16, all the way from Mullenix Road, all the way up through Port Orchard, around the corner, and through Gorst. Now, I'd love to give you a travel time for that, because it's hard to estimate just what, and I don't have any travel time loop detectors in that road to give you an estimate. But Sheila has gone about half of that distance in 50 minutes. So that's about 50 minutes to go 3 miles, where she got on just north of the Sedgwick Road area. So this is a lengthy delay. All the roads through Port Orchard are backed up, as is 3 itself through Gorse. This crash was just north of the Sinclair Inlet there as you got up Highway 3. So big time delays. The rest of the map, about what you might expect. We've got 45 minutes from Olympia to DuPont. We've still got this crash on the right side there as you get towards Center Drive. And then you have Federal Way to Seattle of about an hour. Valley Freeway, 50 minutes. 35 minutes Renton to Bellevue, and we're getting closer to an hour from Everett to Bellevue. 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Planning a trip? Plan to visit Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC, and more. Financing available, no appointment needed. Bucky's.com.
It's 7:16. We've been telling you about jumping gas prices. Well, now Washington has the second highest gas prices in the country.
Jillian Raftery has the numbers and where you can save. Jillian.
That's right. AAA says the average price is $4.61 a gallon in our state, and that's, again, 4 cents up since yesterday. And we had a 6-cent jump just the day before. Experts say seasonal refinery maintenance and a shutdown in Southern California are tightening the supply, so that's at least part of it. But critics say you can't ignore the impact of Washington's carbon auctions. The last one, held September 3rd, raised the carbon price to $64.30 per ton. That adds about 57 cents per gallon in fuel costs. But you can save. Join a rewards program. That sounds obvious. A lot of people don't actually do it. You only get the 5-cent discount when you put in your number to initially sign up. You can get a lot more when you rack up the points. Use a credit card that maximizes those points. You can also get a surprisingly big price break by shopping at stores like Safeway or QFC and then using those rewards to get discounts. Some of this takes a little planning. You can, of course, pick where you fill up. The cheapest gas in the Seattle area, Gas Buddy says it's the Arco in Pacific at $3.99 per gallon.
Okay, Jillian, thank you. It's 7:17.
Fly ball deep to left field, and this one is goodbye baseball, and the Mariners win it.
The Rick Riz Show.
A swing and a miss, came back with a splitter for strike 3.
The legendary Mariners broadcaster joins Seattle's Morning News every Friday to talk about the biggest stories with the Mariners.
It is grand salami time. A walk-off grand slam.
All right, who's ready for a little levity this morning?
Yes, we need Rick.
5 wins in a row, Rick Riz.
Oh, Amanda and Charlie and David, what a win last night. That was a crazy ball game. 13 innings. Logan Gilbert pitching out of more traffic than it's on I-90 right now early in the ball game. And little Leo Rivas, when you're thinking he's going to lay down a bunt in the bottom of the 13th inning, he's allowed to swing away and hits a walk-off 2-run home run. So just a crazy game last night and a huge win for the ball club. They've won 5 in a row. And right now they're still only 1 game back of Houston in the West, and they still are hanging on to that 3rd wild card spot. But it was a long night last night, but a fun night and a huge win for the team.
Rick, what's changed? Because last we spoke, they were on a really rough patch of a tough road streak. So what turned around here?
The offense. The offense really came around. Bryce Miller's getting the start tonight. 5 days ago, he got the start in Atlanta, and things were looking good. The Mariners were 1-6 on that road trip, and it was, they were in bad shape. They needed a spark. Excuse me. And they went out and scored 10 runs.
Well, the spark was the home cooking.
Yeah, the 10 runs, and then they scored 18 runs in Atlanta. Then they came home, and they kept continuing to score runs, and so now they just finished a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals, but it was a combination of a lot of things. But really, I think it was the offense that really finally got going, coming home with them. You're right, Amanda, with the Mariners just win like crazy at home. They're now 44-27 at home, and they've won 16 of their last 19 games at home since July 31st. So you're right, Amanda. They love the home cooking. So that kind of turned around, but it was offense that got going, and now the starters are doing a really good job. And they're just finding crazy ways to win like last night.
As you mentioned, just a single game behind Houston, and now for the lead in the division, just a game and a half behind the Mariners are the Rangers. This is a pretty competitive division.
Oh, no doubt about it. Every game means something, and that's what you play for. It's September. This is going to be a September to remember like it was 3 years ago. They don't want to remember what happened the last 2 years where they finished a game out. Cal Raleigh said that. He said, listen, we can't afford to do that. So they're really, striving to win the West, because then if you win the West Division, you got the home field advantage in the first round of the wild card series. But that's the goal, and they're right there. And they've got 4 big games coming up against the Angels. And you say that about every game left on the schedule, 16 games. But when we go on the next road trip to Kansas City, they're behind the Mariners in the wild card, and then you have the Astros. So we're going to Houston on that last road trip, and hopefully the Mariners will be by Houston by the time that series is over, and I believe they can do it. This club is fired up. Josh Naylor is doing incredible things right now. Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, they're not pitching to Cal, but, the guys in front of them and behind them are doing great things. And the bullpen has just been unbelievable, guys. On this last series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Emerson Hancock last night, pitched the last 2 innings, made 2 incredible plays defensively as well, one in the 12th, one in the 13th. And the bullpen last night went 8 and a third innings, gave up 1 run, but it was unearned because it was the free runner who scored no walks, and they struck out 7. And the night before was the same thing. They went 5 innings, scoreless innings, gave up only 2 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. So the bullpen really won those 2 ball games for the Mariners the last 2 days. And Leo Rivas, the walk-off home run, a 2-run home run. It's unbelievable.
Rick, you're a pretty serious baseball guy. You like getting into the analytics, the statistics. There is a thing with baseball where there's sort of silly superstitions, kind of bizarre things that fans will do that they think kind of has an impact on the game. I don't know if you're familiar with this internet sensation going on with Mariners fans, the Etsy witch phenomenon. A fan paid a witch, they say, to kind of remove a supposed curse from the Mariners. Is there something about baseball? Is it just how many games there are that fans kind of get into these silly, bizarre superstitions?
During the seasons, whatever it takes to get going, you do it. And if you think you're winning because of that, you do it. I mean, it was the mustaches. The guys all of a sudden started growing mustaches, and we started to win a few ball games. But with me, I know this for a fact. Listen to this. You know what that is? You hear that sound?
What is it?
It's a bag of Cheetos.
You're
That's a bag of
having
Cheetos.
Cheetos for breakfast?
No. I'm hanging out of these, man, because 5 days ago, Jerry DiPoto came into the booth. We were in Atlanta. And a couple of years ago, we needed some wins. And Jerry, tossed me a bag of Cheetos. He said, maybe this will, turn our luck around. And we won, and we kept winning. Well, we went with the Cheetos in Atlanta. The Mariners were having a rough time. Jerry came in the booth and gave me a bag of Cheetos, and we won that game 10-2, like I was talking about. The next day, he came in with another bag of Cheetos, and we won 18-2. So then we come home, and it was game 1 against the St. Louis Cardinals, and there's no Cheetos. So I go into Jerry's booth. I go, Jerry, where's my doggone Cheetos? He says, I don't have them. So anyway, he got a hold of Trevor Gooby, who's the director of baseball operations. He went searching all around the ballpark for a little bag of Cheetos. He found them, and Jerry tossed them into the booth and on the, my scorebook and, right in front of me, and we scored 4 runs, as soon as I got the Cheetos, and the Mariners won the game against the St. Louis Cardinals.
The moral of the story is don't call
Cheetos.
Superstitions silly, right? They work.
This is true. And then I got Cheetos the other night. We won. I got Cheetos. He brought in the Cheetos last night. So it's the lucky Cheetos why the Mariners are 5-0. But it's also the bullpen and the guys scoring runs and great pitching and working out of trouble and figuring out a way. Little Leo Rivas hitting a walk-off 2-run home run. So, but I'm going with the Cheetos, guys, right here.
All right, Rick, we're going to make a run to Costco. We're buying a whole pallet full of Cheetos for the rest of this season.
Jerry DiPoto did? Jerry DiPoto went around to like 3 or 4 gas stations and bought up all the Cheetos.
Oh, my goodness. We'll look forward to hearing you tonight. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. First pitch, 6:40.
Okay, Sully, what's going on in traffic?
Well, our drivers could use a bag of Cheetos to change their luck on westbound 16, trying to get into and through Gorst and around the corner to Highway 3. We have a 7.5-mile backup and about an hour delay trying to get into and through Port Orchard. Backup begins at Mullenix Road. Big time, huge delays there. If you can avoid your trip into Bremerton for a while, do it. We're up to 55 minutes now for northbound I-5 from Olympia into Tacoma. 20-minute delay because of this long-term crash we've been dealing at with Center Drive there. So big time delays there. Up the hill to Fife, a little bit of braking, and then Federal Way to Seattle's an hour. 50 minutes, Puyallup up to Renton, kind of an average day there. Renton to Bellevue is getting closer to 40 now, and we have settled into about an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company look good with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, and more. SUPLinen.com.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield, terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
The Seahawks hit the road for the first time this season in hostile Pittsburgh. Seahawks, Steelers, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Hey, it's G. Scott. With kids back in school, it's rally time. And I encourage everyone to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Here's the truth. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong, stay focused, and live healthy lives. But for families on tight budgets, those essentials can be out of reach. That's where we come in. Together, the Washington State Department of Health and Safeway need you to help make a difference making fresh fruits and vegetables accessible to families and kids. Safeway is deeply committed to nourishing our communities. Every dollar donated is another dollar eligible families can use on fresh produce. And with SNAP Produce Match, they can buy twice as much with each dollar. Let's work together to make sure every kid has access to the nutrition they deserve. Next time you're at your neighborhood Safeway, please say yes at checkout to donate to the Keep Kids Healthy campaign. Learn more and start saving at Safeway.com/SNAP or on your Safeway for You app.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile, Wi-Fi, and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
CBS News special report. The FBI has recovered the bolt-action rifle used to kill conservative influencer Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University yesterday. Special agent in charge, Robert Bowles.
That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon.
Utah Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason says the gunman, who was of college age, fired from a campus rooftop, then fled into a nearby neighborhood.
Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads.
Mason says they have good surveillance video of the assassin. Charlie Kirk helped rally the youth vote for President Trump, who just made this announcement while addressing a 9/11 ceremony at the Pentagon.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom,
the highest possible honor for a civilian. CBS News Special Report. I'm Michael Wallace.
It's 7:32. In downtown Seattle, a solemn gathering to mourn the murdered conservative celebrity Kirk included some fiery political speech-making.
And KIRO Newsradio's Corwin Hake is here with more. Corwin?
It was billed as a candlelight prayer vigil, this event at Seattle's Westlake Park last night. The 200 or so people who attended the event lifted candles. They listened to music as a number of speakers paid tribute to the 31-year-old co-founder of the Turning Point USA youth movement.
Charlie was a revolutionary. He just told the truth.
Right, and that's Russell Johnson, the event organizer. He's also pastor of the Pursuit Northwest Church. His remarks from the stage last night also included harsh criticism of Seattle city government and local mainstream media.
You can go ahead, media, and write whatever BS articles you want. The people of God are not backing down because we are not the problem in this city. We are the answer to the problem in this city.
And it was moments like that in which this prayer vigil took on the tone of a political rally. Johnson was a friend of Kirk's, and they shared a passion for mixing conservative political activism with their Christian faith. Last night's vigil was not billed as a partisan event, but more as an opportunity for Kirk's many local admirers to grieve and process their feelings. Charlie and Amanda.
Thank you, Corwin. It's 7:33 now. Chris Sullivan has traffic on the 3s for us.
And if you can delay your trip into Bremerton coming from Gig Harbor, Tacoma, do it. We have at least an hour delay. And again, that's a guesstimate, but I'm basing it off my drivers who are stuck in this 8-mile backup that begins at Mullenix Road, goes all the way up through Port Orchard and around the corner to Gorst before breaking free. We had a long-term crash just before Bremerton, and we are just dealing with the aftermath of that. Again, it's an hour delay to make it through that backup. So if you can delay your trip, do it, or else you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Looking at northbound I-5, still struggling through Lacey up through DuPont because of an earlier crash we had near Center Drive. Give yourself 50-plus minutes from Olympia to Tacoma, about a 20-minute delay there. Federal Way to Seattle, kind of an average day for you guys. Brakes right where they should be. Hour, 5-minute trip for you. Valley Freeway now up over 50 minutes with 35 of those minutes from Auburn. Really slow there at 18. And then from 180th on in, and then Renton to Bellevue's running right around 40 minutes. Coming down from the north end, big brake lights away from the Linwood area. We've got about an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Everett into Bellevue. The Lake Bridges, though, are in good shape. 18 over Tiger Mountain's a little heavy. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more, globalcu.org.
Our forecast, it's going to be a nice day eventually. We're seeing some fog and low clouds this morning. 73 for the afternoon with peaks of sunshine. Tomorrow, Friday, will stay mostly cloudy with some sun breaks in the afternoon and 70. Looks like our next chance of showers rolls in on Sunday morning. Right now, it's cloudy and foggy and 57 in Seattle.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Time for this morning's commentary. It is the morning of August 1st, 2001. I'm in bed, my alarm goes off, and the first thing that goes through my mind is, today I'm moving home, back to Seattle. I open my eyes. The first thing I see outside my bedroom window is the World Trade Center. It's just a mile from me across the Hudson River. No buildings between us this high up. Nothing blocks the view. This is the waterfront panorama I've had every day for the past year. 2 towers standing solid, touching the sky. They are massive, powerful, beautiful, permanent, I think. From our 19th floor apartment in Jersey City, they dominate the skyline. They are the skyline. Morning light bounces off the glass. The sky is crisp and clean and so blue. This is my routine. When I wake up, I look across the water at the towers to see what the weather is like. Today, it is perfect. I never imagined this view could vanish. I had moved from Seattle to Jersey City the year before for a job at a startup.com. Worked in Manhattan. The commuter train dropped me right beneath the Trade Center. Down there, it was always alive. The smell of bagels and burnt coffee drifting through the concourse. Yellow fluorescent lights, a blue paper cup in one hand, a daily news in the other. The click of shoes on tile, the rumble of the trains below, the low hum of thousands moving to work. The same faces every morning. People I never spoke to, but people who became part of my life, my routine. Every morning I rode the escalators up through the lobby of those buildings, out onto the streets of lower Manhattan. One morning I was late. I cut through the line for the escalator. I was a 25-year-old in a hurry. Well, a man grabbed my backpack, told me I was rude, and he was right. I've never forgotten him. Months later, the .com went bust, and it was time to go. So I moved home to Seattle, and 41 days later, I was in our little rental house in Lake City. Bedroom upstairs, phone downstairs. Hadn't set up the answering machine yet. It was just before 6 in the morning, and the phone wouldn't stop ringing. I stumbled down the narrow stairway to pick up. A friend on the other end told me, "Turn on the TV." My wife and I sat frozen, staring at our old view. The same view from our old place, only now it was burning, and we watched, trembling. The image on that screen was the same one I had woken up to every day for a year, but now it was smoke and fire. And then nothing but dust and death. That day taught me how fragile life is, how nothing is guaranteed. Just 6 weeks earlier, I thought I'd be able to go back one day and walk through those towers again. Instead, they were reduced to craters in the ground, a tomb. For a brief moment after 9/11, we weren't divided. We weren't shouting. We simply stood together, grieving. I think about that now in the wake of yesterday's assassination. One event shook the entire world. The other shakes our politics. But both test whether we can turn toward each other or against each other. We can't let hatred become the air we breathe. It poisons us all. It must never become the new normal. Our strength is in unity. And that's what today, September 11th, should always remind us of. Because we live on a veil, a thin veil between life and death, between what we expect and what can vanish in an instant. I remain haunted by thoughts of those commuters I saw every morning, the people who lined up beside me on those escalators. Some of them must have worked in those towers. I still think about that stranger 24 years ago and how he grabbed my backpack. I don't know his name. And my God, how I hope he made it. And that is this morning's commentary for Thursday, September 11th, 2025.
It's 7:40. Chris Sullivan, what do you have for us in traffic?
Well, we've got about an 8-mile backup getting into the Port Orchard area. We'll break it down for you next.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
7:43 now. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And we are struggling with an hour delay as my best guesstimate for those of you on westbound 16 trying to get into and through Port Orchard. Backup begins at Mullenix Road, goes all the way through Port Orchard to the corner at Gorst. We had a long-term crash on northbound 3 into Bremerton that is cleared a while ago, but it's just taking time to go through a 8-mile backup. It's my drivers who are telling me they're working on 50 minute to an hour delay through that area. So if you can delay that trip out of Tacoma or Gig Harbor heading west or north up into Bremerton, do it. You're going to save yourself a ton of time. The rest of the map, about average for Thursday. The other exception is northbound I-5 from Olympia to Tacoma. It's running close to an hour now with a 4-mile backup that begins coming down the hill in Lacey through Nisqually. We had a long-term crash up near Center Drive in DuPont that really put us behind. Then you've got an hour drive from Federal Way to Seattle. No surprises for you guys. Brake lights there around 320th, up past the Kent Des Moines Road, then again at the middle of Boeing Field on up. Looking at Renton to Bellevue of about 42 minutes now, really stacking up in those S-curves. Plus, we're starting to see a little bit more at the north end. Give yourself about 52 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. And we have hour drives from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. And
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
We've hit the $15 max on southbound 405 in the express toll lanes. Shocker. This report brought to you by flyseaportair.com. Seaport Airlines offering high-frequency shuttle service between Boeing Field and Portland. Use code FALL2025. Save 20% off. Book now. Flyseaportair.com.
Are we batting 1,000 for September so far?
Well, it was hard to tell because last week I wasn't really checking while I had COVID. I know I failed you. I failed all of you.
How dare you?
Sorry, I should have been checking.
All right. We'll see sunshine eventually get through the fog and clouds this morning. First, 73 our high for today. Tomorrow, as we wrap up the week, mostly cloudy with some sunbreaks in the afternoon and 70. It looks like we'll likely see some showers on Sunday morning. Right now, it's 57 in Seattle.
Well, it sounds at least like some Cougar football fans are excited about this news. We check in with Jillian Raftery.
Yeah, you're soon going to be able to buy beer and wine at WSU football games. This is very new. The State Liquor and Cannabis Board approved the pilot program just yesterday. And here's board chair Jim Vollendroff.
Are the safeguards effective? Are incidents increasing? And are things being managed well?
Those are all things they're going to look at on this test run. They don't want people boozing too hard at the games. They don't want to be a bad influence for those young people. So they're going to have no alcohol in the student section. Husky Stadium has offered alcohol since 2021.
Jillian, thank you. 7:46 now. Coming up, we'll have CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland with the latest details on the manhunt underway for the killer of Charlie Kirk.
Summer is fast approaching, and it's a great time to get ready for the busy season with help from WaFd Bank.
Remember, Dave, you can get ahead of the game with WaFd Bank and implement services like payment processing so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever option they want to pay.
And Brad, I've heard that WaFd Bank has the equipment to make tracking transactions and getting paid easier than ever, right?
Right. With industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support, you can get peace of mind and get back to helping customers. You can also find a variety of business accounts at WaFd to fit your specific needs and a suite of other services to take things to the next level. We have the knowledge, experience, and offerings to make your business goals a reality.
Thanks, Brad. And you can learn more by visiting wafdbank.com or just drop in at your local branch. I think you'll discover why they've been awarded Best Bank by multiple companies many years in a row. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call Roof Smart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call Roof Smart today at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Good morning. It is 7:49. It is a tragedy sending shockwaves not just through the GOP, but the entire country. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk shot and killed yesterday at a speaking event on the campus of Utah Valley University.
There is a large-scale manhunt underway right now for the shooter, and there have been developments in the past hour. Let's check in now with CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland. Scott, good morning. We just had that press conference where they revealed some new details.
They seem to be confident that the video they have of this shooter is going to lead them to the identity of this shooter. They're not going to release it publicly. They think that they can keep this in office and figure out who the person is that fired the shot, and that they could find the person who fired the shot. They say he jumped off the roof, ran through some woods, then ran through a neighborhood to try to escape, but that he also blended in with a college student crowd yesterday when he was on site and fired a shot at Charlie Kirk. They also noted the timing here, that he had arrived on site with a gun around 11:52 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 8 minutes before the event began, not terribly far ahead of when the shot was actually fired, and that it was a bolt-action rifle, the type of firearm a hunter would carry to hit a precision single shot from a long distance. And this shot was taken about 200 yards away, 2 football fields away from the roof of an academic building.
Investigators have that weapon. Do we know anything more about it?
They are doing forensic work at the FBI lab with that firearm. We'll see what other casings they're able to extract from a gun if it had other casings in it. They've done the fingerprints, palm prints, also footprints to try to figure out who this person is. But not releasing the video that they have to the public is indicative of a couple things, according to law enforcement experts. First of all, it shows some level of confidence. They don't need the public's help necessarily in the short term to figure out who this is, but also concern about what becomes of these citizen sleuths who may misidentify somebody based on video and make life a hellstorm for the people who are misidentified. We know this because the police chief in Utah said he's concerned about the 2 persons of interest who were brought into custody briefly yesterday have been harassed, menaced, and threatened just for having their names out there.
We had a listener ask us to that point, Scott. We had those 2 people. Any reason that they were suspected and then, of course, released? But what led to that suspicion?
But the police have said declaratively and unequivocally that those people have no connection to the shooting. One was under arrest for obstruction, potentially interfering with the aftermath. He's been released. There's no need to hold this person, according to what police are saying. The second person was questioned, but just released. No connection to the shooting. I think there was an effort yesterday by the local police to say that these were persons of interest, not suspects. And the FBI director may have clouded the picture last night when he had posted that a subject has been arrested in connection with the shooting. It's a tough word to unpack, too. A subject. What does that mean? But nobody who is suspected of firing the shot has been found yet.
There's some people who did not know the name Charlie Kirk until yesterday. Can you describe why he was so popular with teens and college students?
He was a remarkably effective political organizer, somebody who was able to amass, at just the age of 31, millions of followers, was able to pack a Utah college campus on a random Tuesday afternoon with 3,000 students and attendees to hear his political remarks, to answer questions from the public. Prodigious digital, podcast, and social media presence and disseminator, closely aligned with the vice president in particular, but also President Trump, had any number of connections inside the White House. But some of this may be generational. If you're not familiar with Charlie Kirk, there's a couple possibilities. You're not following the daily grains of politics, or maybe older than the age of 20 and 30. And that's where his connections were strongest.
Scott McFarland, CBS News. Scott, thank you for taking some time to update us on this, and we'll look forward to your coverage throughout the day.
Thank you.
It's 7:53, and Sully, you're watching traffic.
Plan on 45-minute to an hour delay if you're trying to go westbound on 16 to try to make it through the Port Orchard area. 7.5 to 8 mile backup begins at Mullinex and goes all the way into the Gorst corner there at Highway 3. So plan on big time delays there. Again, the delay is 45 minutes to an hour because of a crash we had near on northbound 3 as you approach Bremerton. So big time problems there. Northbound 5 through DuPont's trying to get a little bit better. We've picked up the pace a little bit. We had an earlier crash in DuPont, 20-minute delay. 50 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running about an hour and 5 if you're continuing up the corridor. 40 minutes make that from South Center. We're up to over 50 minutes now from Renton to Bellevue, behind schedule by at least 10. We had a quick little stall at 44th, but now we've got an issue blocking the right lane near Southeast 8th, right, getting into the heart of Bellevue. So plan on 50 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, 55 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, with 30 of those minutes out of Auburn. And out of the north end, a relatively normal Thursday morning, hour plus from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Headed to work, Subaru of Puyallup's service department opens at 5 a.m. 6 days a week. Expert technicians to care for your car. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Our forecast, we're starting the day with some pretty thick fog and low clouds in spots, but sunshine by afternoon, 73 today. Mostly cloudy tomorrow for your Friday and 70. Some sun breaks in the afternoon. Looks like we might see some showers on Sunday morning. Right now in Seattle, it's 57.
How would you like to win 4 Seahawks tickets for the game on the 21st? All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how. You don't have the app? Well, let's change that. Simply text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download, and you can enter every day through Monday, September 15th.
Hey, man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations, and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. The spouse says, "Thank you. I really have my partner back. It's better than before." That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Cars for Kids, your trusted charity for car donations, also accepts donations of boats, RVs, motorcycles, and real estate. Call today, 877-CARS4KIDS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump pays tribute to a close ally at the Pentagon's 9/11 ceremony.
I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
That's the country's highest civilian honor, and there's new information in the investigation into conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination yesterday on a Utah college campus. CBS's Andres Gutierrez reports authorities believe they found the murder weapon, a high-powered rifle, and the gunman, they say, blended in with the college crowd and leaped from the roof of a building to get away.
Besides that murder weapon being analyzed, the FBI right now also working to analyze some footwear impressions as well as some forearm impressions they got of the suspect. So they have been working throughout the night in gathering this evidence, and those are some new pieces of information that we've received. They've also been able to develop a better timeline.
CBS's Natalie Brand at the White House.
The president and his team, White House officials here, simply devastated by this political assassination. There were tears at the White House yesterday. It's a very somber day, always on 9/11, but I think you could hear it in the president's voice when he was speaking at the Pentagon a short time ago, and it speaks to the closeness of their relationship that he opened his remarks at the 9/11 remembrance ceremony at the Pentagon with a tribute to Kirk.
Many Democrats expressing outrage and sadness too. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
This is a time that all Americans should come together and feel and mourn what happened. Violence, which affects so many different people of so many different political persuasions, is an affliction of America.
9/11 is being remembered today, 24 years after the attacks. Secretary Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon.
9/11 is vivid for me and all of you, but it will soon live only in the history books for our youngest. We must teach our children that the price of freedom we love is eternal vigilance.
The government says inflation ticked higher last month. Consumer prices up 2.9% from 1 year ago, biggest increase since January. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
When we look at that headline rate, a good chunk of it comes from shelter. Shelter prices up by 3.6% from a year ago, but that's a lot better than it has been recently.
Claims for jobless benefits hit their highest level in almost 4 years last week. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 567 points. The S&P is up 45. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
It's 8:03, and Chris Sullivan is at the traffic desk.
And before I get to the biggie, we've got a couple of new things to tell you about that have just cropped up. I wanted to make sure I got to, and that's southbound I-5 getting into and through Marysville. It's pretty foggy up there, and we also have a stall blocking the left-hand lane, and we're backing up pretty quickly, so plan on a couple of extra minutes there. Once you get through that, you've got hour and 6-minute drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. The other issue is we've got a crash in the express lane, southbound I-5, right around Stewart. This one appears to involve a bus, so the express lanes may not be as good as the main line. Now to our biggie, which continues to be the 8-mile backup on westbound 16, trying to get into and through Bethel and Port Orchard. The backup begins almost at the Burley-Olalla Road, goes all the way up and around the corner up towards Bremerton. Plan on at least an hour delay if you're trying to make that corridor. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 5-minute trip. We're getting closer to an hour from Puyallup to Renton, with the brake lights from 180th on in getting a little bit more intense. And then Renton to Bellevue is about a 55-minute trip. Still working with the right lane blocked as you get up towards Southeast 8th. The lake bridges, though, are okay. This report brought to you by AAA. AAA Washington's all-new everyday membership gives discounts and perks at more than 900 business locations, all for $25 per day, or per year, that is, not $25 per day. Join AAA Washington today.
Good Thursday morning. It is September 11th, 2025. Along with Manda Factor, I'm Charlie Harger with a look at the day's top stories.
Shock and sorrow over the death of Charlie Kirk drew hundreds of mourners to a prayer vigil at Seattle's Westlake Park.
Corwin Hake is here to tell us about the gathering and with more local reaction to the deadly shooting. Corwin?
Right, and this vigil happened last night. About 200 people, young and old, held up candles and offered prayers at this vigil organized by Russell Johnson. He's the youthful pastor of Pursuit Northwest Church and a friend of Kirk's.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement, and he ended up paying with his life for the high crime of daring to voice a different opinion than what might be popular in culture.
He spoke to KIRO 7 News last night, as did this young mourner who says he admired Kirk for championing free speech.
And he would encourage the people who disagreed with him to step forward and have that dialogue, because all the worst events in America have happened when we stop talking to each other.
In Seattle and across Washington, conservative and liberal leaders alike condemned violence as a response to political differences. Sierra Elliott is vice chair of Washington State Young Republicans.
If you want change politically, that can be settled at the ballot box. Violence is never the answer.
Democrats weighed in too. In a statement on X, U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell writes, quote, "This kind of political violence has no place in America." Charlie and Manda.
Corwin, thank you. It's September 11th, and today marks 24 years since the 9/11 attacks.
Nearly 3,000 lives were lost that day. Here in Seattle, the Space Needle is hosting a flag-raising ceremony this morning, a tribute to the victims and the first responders who ran toward danger. After that, firefighters from across the region will be climbing the Needle stairs to the height of the fallen World Trade Center towers. They're going to do it in full gear to symbolically carry each fallen hero to the top. You can find a complete list of events in the area marking 9/11 at mynorthwest.com.
Seattle police are making more use of the city's soda and soap zones, which are designed to keep people out of certain neighborhoods who are convicted of drug or prostitution crimes, respectively. The zones weren't used much in their first 3 months, but City Attorney Ann Davison says prosecutors have now used the soda zone 115 times, soap 32.
This is to respond to the criminal enterprise of people looking to profiteer literally off the backs of other humans, and we are going to not have that happen in the North End.
These zones are not without their critics. According to the Seattle Times, Erica Evans, who's trying to unseat Davison in November, is against them.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, good morning. It is Thursday, September 11th, a day we will never forget in this country. Now, along with Charlie Harger, I'm Manda Factor.
And Sully is here, along with David Burbank, our producer, Jillian Raftery filling in for Katrina today, Corwin Hake filling in for Luke Ducey, and, of course, Nick Cretia is in the control room running the board.
Coming up this hour of the show, Scouting America has been helping kids learn valuable life and survival skills for decades. We're going to hear from President and CEO of the Scouts, Roger Crone.
We're also going to speak with our colleague Jason Rantz from Seattle Red 770 AM. He knew Charlie Kirk, and we'll get a look at what he was like and what his meaning was to so many who follow that movement.
Also, G. Scott's going to stop by and weigh in on the new AI podcast startup that plans to churn out content, looking to make millions with no human hosts.
It's 8:08 here on Seattle's Morning News. The 24 states, including Washington recently, that have received requests from the Justice Department to turn over a full copy of the voter registration database within 14 days to be used in criminal and immigration-related investigations.
KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has reaction from Washington Attorney General Nick Brown.
The request came from the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, asking for full names, dates of birth, addresses, driver's license numbers, or the last 4 digits of Social Security numbers. AG Nick Brown says the request is not about election integrity, it's about control.
If you can control elections, then you can control the future of his policy priorities, and we can't let that happen.
Brown says if the request is legal, the state will comply. If not, everything will be done to protect Washingtonians. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police say a blood trail led them straight to a stabbing suspect's apartment. Happened around 7:45 yesterday evening near Denny Park when officers found a man collapsed in front of their patrol car. He had been stabbed multiple times during a fight on a Metro bus. The victim was rushed to Harborview with life-threatening injuries. Officers followed the blood trail to a hallway on the 6th floor of an apartment building on Dexter Avenue. That's where a man had called 911 saying he needed help after being attacked on a bus. Police arrested him on the spot. Investigators say the two men fought before the stabbing, but it's unclear how they knew each other.
Seattle's mayor wants to spend $80 million to fight gentrification. Bruce Harrell says the money would help black families with housing costs and down payments. He's calling it an anti-gentrification and reparations fund. The idea is to push back against racist housing rules and redlining from Seattle's past. The plan is part of his 2026 budget proposal. The city council would still have to approve it. According to the Times, Harrell will share more details later this month.
It's 8:10. The Mariners broke out the brooms last night, sweeping aside the St. Louis Cardinals in a 3-game series. Not an easy task. Took 13 innings before M's second baseman Leo Rivas decided to send everyone home happy.
Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Leo. Not Buddy swinging. Fly ball. Deep right field down the line. Walk it off. Leo Rivas. A walk-off 2-run home run. Goodbye, baseball. The Mariners sweep the Cardinals in the 3-game series.
The Mariners have now won 5 games in a row. They want to keep this rolling tonight. They take on the Angels at T-Mobile Park. First pitch at 6:40. You can catch all the coverage on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
How might they keep the streak going?
Oh, I have an idea.
If you missed it earlier this morning, Rick Riz had an idea.
What would it be? What would this orange idea be?
Well, Rick told us, how about a bag of Cheetos?
5 days ago, Jerry DiPoto came into the booth. We were in Atlanta. And a couple years ago, we needed some wins. And Jerry, tossed me a bag of Cheetos. He said, maybe this will, turn our luck around. And we won, and we kept winning. Well, we went with the Cheetos in Atlanta. The Mariners were having a rough time. Jerry came in the booth and gave me a bag of Cheetos, and we won that game 10-2, like I was talking about. The next day, he came in with another bag of Cheetos, and we won 18-2. So then we come home, and it was game 1 against the St. Louis Cardinals, and there's no Cheetos. So I go into Jerry's booth. I go, Jerry, where's my doggone Cheetos? He says, I don't have them. So anyway, he got a hold of Trevor Gooby, who's the director of baseball operations. He went searching all around the ballpark for a little bag of Cheetos. He found them, and Jerry tossed them into the booth and on the, my scorebook and, right in front of me. And we scored 4 runs, as soon as he got the Cheetos. And the Mariners won the game against the St. Louis Cardinals.
There you have it. So when you're outside T-Mobile Park before the game, make sure you've got your Cheetos ready to go.
I believe he said doggone Cheetos.
Doggone Cheetos.
Yeah, you got to have them.
It's the best kind.
It's 8:12. Let's get a check on weather. It is brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Here's KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard.
Widespread low clouds, fog, maybe a little bit of drizzle and mist out there as well. It's just a gray morning for sure. And we're going to see the clouds will take a long time to clear today. I expect we'll see mostly cloudy skies by noon and then partly cloudy conditions after about like 2 o'clock or so. But don't be surprised with the fog if you have a little mist and drizzle. And then tomorrow, I think we're going to see about the same. Both days only in the upper 60s and lower 70s. We should see a little bit more sunshine on Saturday in the mid 70s, but then some pockets of rain coming in for Sunday and barely getting to 70. We should dry out a little bit next week and warm it up with highs back in the low to mid 70s.
Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 56.
It's 8:13. Time for traffic every 10 minutes on the 3s. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And the most unusual slowing award of the day goes to westbound 16 to northbound 3 through Port Orchard and Gorst. We're backing up to the Burley-Olalla Road all the way, 8 miles to that Gorst intersection. After a long-term crash, you're going to need an extra hour to make that drive. That's how long the delay is there. Big-time problems. Once you get over to this side of the water, you're going to see a relatively normal commute. The Olympia to Tacoma drive is back down to about 50 minutes after an earlier crash we had in DuPont, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running about an hour and 5 minutes, with 40 of those minutes from South Center. Valley Freeway, 55 minutes from end to end. Heaviest spot there as you approach Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue's at 50 minutes still. Not only heavy through 44th, but right there getting into Southeast 8th. We had an earlier problem there. The Lake Bridges, though, are good. Coming down from the north end, we are struggling through Marysville. We've got a backup that begins around 116th, goes down to the main exit. That's because of a crash in the right-hand lane, so plan on some delays there. And then Everett to Seattle or Everett Everett to Bellevue, both running well over an hour. If you're getting into the express lanes, we've got a new crash involving a bus on southbound I-5 in the express lanes right around Stewart. The center lane there is blocked, and that's why we're backing up from 520. This report brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 or to avoid dangerous and costly damage. Call 811 or submit online, digsafewa.com.
8:14 now. Average gas prices in Washington have been climbing, up 4 cents a gallon since yesterday and 10 cents from 2 days ago. Jillian Raftery can tell us why and how to save.
Thanks, Charlie. Refinery maintenance and a refinery closure here on the West Coast. That's reduced supply. Demand is the same, so prices go up. Experts also say our state's carbon tax has added up to 57 cents to the gallon of gas that we buy, which gives Washington the second highest prices per gallon in the country. But there are ways to save. You just have to have a plan. Fuel rewards, you have to actually sign up for them. Credit card points, grocery points to get fuel discounts. You can map out the cheap gas. Tools like Gas Buddy can show all the stations in your area. Right now, the cheapest in our region is the Arco in Pacific at $3.99 per gallon.
Okay, thank you, Jillian. It's 8:15.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
It's 8:16. Well, the new school year is underway. With classes back in session, a lot of parents are looking for activities to keep their kids engaged and build skills to help them later in life.
Scouting America, one of the organizations that's provided life skills for kids and teens for decades, and this fall they are spotlighting the Cub Scouts, which is a hands-on experience, of course, designed to build confidence, problem solving, and teamwork through projects and outdoor activities. Roger Crone is the president and CEO of Scouting America. He joins us now. Good morning, Roger.
Hey, good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning. Nice to have you with us. So what can a kid get from Cub Scouts that they're not going to get in school?
Well, schools are great at what I call book learning and providing kind of the skills like maybe you needed math or English or history, and they have goals and achievements that are important to them. Our program is really complementary to kind of an in-classroom. First of all, we get kids outside, right, and in the great outdoors, into nature. But our programs, although they appear like, they're Scouts, they're the camping organization, they're the outdoors organization, and I like that. But to the parents, we are the youth development organization. And so we teach kids problem solving, perseverance, social skills, how to get along with other kids. Our organization tends to be much, much more youth-led than adult-led. So the kids learn leadership, character development, citizenship, personal fitness. I like to say they also learn followership. They learn to be a team leader. They also learn, to be a team member. And today, in today's world, learning respect for your peers, making new friends, right, having empathy, those are really, really important skills, and I honestly believe we can't have enough of them.
Roger, both my kids, both my son and daughter were involved what was then known as Scouts BSA, and I know that one of our big projects a couple of years back was helping out with 9/11 Memorial. It was on this day a few years back. And that was really important, I think, in terms of giving back to the community. Why is that so important for Scouting, to get the kids out there and helping out?
We've all been blessed in a different way. And, in today's generation, to stop and slow down and pause and, duty to country, right? We have one of our Scout laws is reverence, but to understand that there's a bigger world and how fortunate many of us are and how important giving back and participating in the community is, Charlie, as you probably know, we have something called the Eagle. We have to get so many merit badges, but you also have to complete a service project. And I think the world would be better if everyone had to complete an Eagle service project and had to give back to the community. And just understand that there's so many more important things in life than just personal achievement. And to teach that to youth at a very, very young age, I think develops a pattern that will be so important for them as they continue in their life.
Okay, Roger. Well, we have Cub Scouts, which the dens, I'm sure, are starting up right now. Where do we find out more?
Right. We've gone digital like everyone else, so beascout.org. And then to make it even easier to interact with our organization, our material, we built an AI chatbot. We call it Scoutly, and so you can now ask it questions, rather than flipping page by page. If you want to know more about our programs, ask it a question. If you want to find a unit near you where you can go and visit or join, you can ask Scoutly to find a unit in your neighborhood, in Chief Seattle Council, or any one of the organizations there in the Pacific Northwest.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That is Roger Crone from the Scouting U.S. right now, Scouting America. Thanks so much, Roger.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Charlie.
Take care. It's now 8:20.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, the state's newest freeway overpass is being born in Pierce County.
Well, before this baby's delivered, contractors will need to close some lanes, and Sully's here to tell us more.
And those nightly and ramp closures are going to begin in around I-5 in the Steilacoom-DuPont Road area on Monday, and they're going to last all next week and through next weekend, including several overnight hours when southbound I-5 is going to be down to just one lane. The Washington Department of Transportation is building a new freeway interchange there. You might remember that the freeway was almost closed entirely for a weekend in April when the first set of girders were put up over I-5. This weekend, the contractor's adding the rest of the girders, taking the overpass over the railroad tracks just west of the freeway.
Previously, people in the area saw us put down the backbone or the girders for the overpass. Now we've reached the point where we're going to be extending the overpass by placing the girders over the Sound Transit line.
WashDOT's Doug Adamson says moving these girders is not going to be easy.
We'll be bringing in 17 long pieces of steel and concrete, and they're more than 150 feet long, so quite the process to get them there to the construction zone, and each one of them weighs about 170,000 pounds.
The contractor's actually going to be moving these girders through the city of DuPont, so drivers should expect some intermittent traffic holds early in the week during some of those overnight hours.
This work will have substantial effects for people who are using Interstate 5 still. Expect a number of lane closures in the area, but we're going to have to route those girders in through town. We'll have some ramp closures there at the Steilacoom-DuPont Road, so a large pardon our dust as we reach this key stage in construction.
You can find the current schedule for every night of the week next week at mynorthwest.com so you can plan your trips. This is another spot where trains actually create backups onto the freeway because the tracks are just west of the off-ramps there on I-5 at the Steilacoom-DuPont Road. This new interchange will go over them.
When we open this early next year, we will have a new overpass which will remove that at-grade conflict and give people that ability to drive over there and not having to stop for trains.
Project not only includes this new overpass, but it will extend the HOV lane from where it ends at the JBLM main gate down through DuPont. Completion on this project is expected sometime next year, early next spring.
Okay, Sully, thank you for that. And you can see the write-up on mynorthwest.com. 8:23, and we'll have you change from your choke point hat to your traffic desk hat.
Yeah, I'll take off my girder hat. Yeah, we got a problem on the express lanes on southbound I-5. This crash involving a bus near Stewart Street now blocking the two left-hand lanes as we have the emergency vehicles rolling up to the scene. So we kind of come to an all-stop right at the Ship Canal Bridge. So it might be worth it to stay in the main line as you work your way down from Everett to Seattle. That drive at about an hour and 5 minutes. We've got about an hour and 10 minutes from Everett into the Bellevue area. Really struggling getting into and through Marysville now because of a crash right between 528 and 529 there on I-5. Give yourself an extra 15 minutes getting down through Marysville. Westbound 16 continues to really struggle. 8-mile backup that goes all the way from almost the Burleolala Road all the way up in and around the corner at Port Orchard and through Gorst. So plan on at least 45-minute delays on the corridor there. Olympia to Tacoma, looks like we have a new crash in Lacey blocking a lane. Keeping an eye on that one. And then Federal Way to Seattle is running right at about an hour and 10 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, about 55, and Renton to Bellevue's settled in at about 50. The Lake Bridges, both of them westbound, are starting to see a little bit of pressure. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
We're seeing clouds and fog this morning, but it's partly sunny by afternoon, 73 today as we wrap up the week tomorrow. Friday, 70, with peaks of sunshine in the afternoon, but staying mostly cloudy. Might see a few showers on Sunday morning. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 57.
And coming up on Seattle's Morning News, he's on CNN right now, but he's going to stop by the studio in just a moment. Our colleague Jason Rance from Seattle Red 770 AM is going to share some memories about his friend, Charlie Kirk. This is Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by WaFd Bank.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Large numbers of orcas, humpbacks, and minke whales are busy feeding in the Salish Sea right now, according to naturalists at Puget Sound Express. In the past week alone, whale watchers spotted more than 14 different Biggs orca families. September is especially busy for humpback whales as they consume as much food as possible before continuing their migratory journeys. Naturalists report multiple instances of lunge feeding, where humpbacks dramatically unhinge their jaw to take large gulps of water at the surface, capturing fish like a fishing net. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of beautiful Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
CBS News special report. Investigators have recovered the bolt-action rifle they believed was used to kill conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University yesterday. Utah Public Safety Director Bo Mason says it was found in a wooded area.
We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time.
After firing the fatal shot from a campus rooftop, the gunman, who was of college age, fled into a nearby neighborhood. FBI Special Agent in Charge, Robert Bowles.
We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it.
President Trump says he will posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
Trump says Kirk could have been president one day. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
It's 8:32. The organizer of a candlelight prayer vigil to honor Kirk took the stage to call for the execution of Kirk's shooter.
And with the story, joining us live is KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake.
And this happened at Seattle's Westlake Park, where a crowd of about 200 held candles and listened to live music as they mourned the popular conservative activist. Pursuit Northwest pastor Russell Johnson organized this event. He's often in the news for his own political activism. Speaking to Seattle Red's Jason Rant's show, Johnson called Kirk a friend.
And really an outspoken hero and champion in the conservative movement.
Then on stage last night at Westlake Park, Johnson offered his views on what should happen to whoever shot Kirk.
Animals who commit these types of cowardly acts deserve life in prison without parole. At a minimum, if not the death penalty for these types of actions.
Now, despite Johnson's rhetoric, many at the vigil praised Kirk for meeting opponents not with antagonism, but with a willingness to listen to them and engage in spirited debate.
Corwin, thank you for that. It's 8:33 now, and 24 years ago, it was a day that changed America forever.
The September 11th attacks. In this clip, Gary Horker on our sister station, KIRO 7 TV, was live when the second of two planes crashed into the Twin Towers.
Hold on just a moment. We've got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding.
me right now. You got people running up the street.
In Federal Way, South King Fire will host a memorial at 1 o'clock this afternoon at Station 64 for the 3,000 people who died. You can find more ways to mark this day at mynorthwest.com.
Time to check traffic now, and Chris Sullivan is watching the roads.
Hey, we continue to struggle a big time trying to get into and through Bethel and Port Orchard, going westbound on Highway 16. 7-mile backup, 45-minute delay because of a long-term crash we had getting up into Bremerton. So if you can delay that trip as you're making your way into Bremerton today, do it. You're going to save yourself a ton of time. The other crash we've been working with is through the express lanes on southbound I-5 at Stewart. The two left lanes had been blocked for a crash involving a bus. Looks like we are having that scene may have gone cleared out, so a plan on not too bad there. Coming down from the north end, overall it's about an hour and 5 from Everett to Seattle, about an hour and 10 from Everett to Bellevue. Renton to Bellevue, we've got about a 50-minute trip for you guys. Heavy in Renton and at the north end. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is trying to thin out, about 50 minutes for you. And we do have a crash on westbound 520 approaching Montlake. Left lane is blocked there. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone, or visit suplinen.com.
And our forecast, we're seeing some pretty thick cloud cover this morning. 73-hour high with some sunshine in the afternoon. Tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy with sun breaks in the afternoon and 70. And it looks like the next chance of showers rolls in on Sunday morning. That'll keep us cooler, about 69 on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy, still a little foggy and 57.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Sense of shock across the country this morning. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed yesterday during a speaking event on the Utah Valley University campus.
Our friend and colleague Jason Rantz, host of the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM, is with us in the studio. I want to say thank you for coming by this morning, and I know this is deeply personal for you, so I truly am so sorry for your loss. Tell us about your relationship with Charlie Kirk.
I have known Charlie for years. Any of us who work in conservative media, we kind of all know one another. It's not a huge environment, generally speaking, in the media, and so we know what it's like to be outnumbered, especially those of us who live in more liberal areas. And so 5-6 years ago is when we first met. We bonded over, obviously, shared political views. I've done his Turning Point USA events around the country. He and I have frequently gone on each other's shows. And we developed a friendship. I think the thing about Charlie and why this is especially hitting people so hard is that even if you didn't know him, you knew him. You felt like you knew him. And that was what he was so good at, particularly amongst younger conservatives, is speaking their language, speaking directly, speaking honestly and bluntly. And he always took time, and you will hear and probably have already heard countless stories of younger conservatives who got time with him just to talk and go through, how they feel on college or high school campuses. And it's an immense and profound loss.
Jason, speaking to young people yesterday, it really struck me that he had an impact, even if they disagreed with what he had to say. Young people, especially those in high school, college, knew Charlie Kirk. So what was behind that? How was he able to make that connection?
He actually spoke to them, and he spoke directly to them, not at them, not to adults and hope that they would pick up. He spoke and went directly to their campuses, and that was the whole point of Turning Point USA, is to go to campuses and actually speak to them. For the longest time, conservatism was defined by liberals on college campuses or at high schools. And you really didn't have a huge conservative voice on these campuses. And so he dared to actually go to them literally and speak and have open discussions and debates on all sorts of issues. And yeah, there's virality to the clips that he posts. There's no doubt about that. That's how you reach younger people. Right? But it was the messaging that for a lot of people, just frankly, they didn't hear. I mean, 16-year-old kids probably not watching Fox News, but they are on Instagram and on TikTok, and they're getting access to these videos where he's just having debates in civil ways about really important topics. Yesterday, I spoke with Senator Mike Lee, who kind of speaks above everybody. He's very smart and makes lots of esoteric comments. And he's known Charlie since he was a teenager, Charlie. And he asked him, like, how do I connect with people when I talk about federalism? What is federalism? And Charlie's response, he said, was, you start this way. Big government sucks. And then you explain. And that's how you reach younger audiences.
President Trump has said he could have been president one day. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I think anyone who knew Charlie and watched him speak could see how easily he can connect with people and how charismatic he was and how very smart. It's annoying to see how he's been characterized by some who clearly didn't know Charlie at all or even spend any time watching his content. But they cherry pick comments out of context intentionally with the intent of smearing him, because that's the cultural rot I think that we're experiencing right now. But go back and watch any one of his speeches. Spend more than just 12 seconds on a clip taken out of context, and you'll know exactly what he's saying and why he's saying it.
I feel sick because, this starts with President Trump getting shot. Then you have Governor Shapiro's home nearly being burned down. You have the Minnesota lawmaker killed. And now Charlie Kirk killed. We're not talking to each other anymore. What's going through your mind when you see violence instead of words being used?
I see it happening a long time, and I see a lot of folks who completely ignored it for a long time. I tried not to get political in times like this, although I don't know if you can completely separate this. But, we had political violence in 2020 that gone almost completely unaddressed by large-scale left-wing media outlets. Sorry, that's just the reality. And when we would call it out, we would be told that we're lying, that we're just making it up. We have violence taking place in Portland outside of an ICE facility almost nightly, not really getting a whole lot of attention. Locally it is, but nationally it's not. They're pretending it's not really happening. When you have folks who want to say the opposition are Nazis and fascists, they're Hitler, they're taking away democracy, rather than simply saying we disagree with these proposals, I think you are inviting crazy people to take that as justification to end someone's life. If you, as a Jew, you tell me that Hitler is coming, I would want to protect myself, right? I would want to stop Hitler because I know what that means. And so when we're telling people who are unstable that this is the reality, I think they might end up acting out. Don't know specifically, obviously, what the very specific motivation for the shooter was politically. Obviously was targeted. And it doesn't strain credulity to believe that he was targeted for his political positions in the way that he was taken out. And I think that argue ideas. Ideas can be awful, but stop going after the people in this way.
Jason Rantz, Seattle Red 770 AM. Thank you, Jason. Traffic coming up next.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Time to check traffic. Here's Chris Sullivan.
We are working with a 45-minute delay on westbound 16 as you try to make your way into and through the Port Orchard area. Long-term crash in Bremerton really set us behind, and we are just struggling. Backup begins at the Burley-Olalla Road and goes all the way up to the Gorst Corner. Looking at the rest of the map, we're still seeing heavy brake lights in the express lanes on southbound I-5 because of a crash earlier right near Stewart, but it's starting to clear out. We have about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle. It's really heavy in Linwood, get a little bit of gap here and there. 405, about an hour and 10 as well to get you down into Bellevue with the brake lights through Canyon Park. Rented to Bellevue, 50 minutes behind that, the Valley Freeway 45, and we're still rolling at about an hour and 15 from Federal Way to Seattle because of the 50 minutes from South Center, and we're still struggling with this crash westbound 520 approaching Montlake. This report brought to you by the Seahawks. 12s tickets for the Seahawks 50th season on sale now. Pack Lumen, bring the noise, make history together. Secure your seats, Seahawks.com/tickets.
And our forecast, we'll likely see some sunshine by afternoon, but pretty cloudy until then. 73 today. Tomorrow, Friday, staying mostly cloudy, sun breaks in the afternoon, and 70. And it looks like Sunday is our next chance of a few showers in the morning hours. Right now it's 57 in Seattle.
Coming up, would you listen to a podcast made completely using AI? We'll ask podcaster G. Scott next on KIRO News Radio.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit WaFdBank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Experience
the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
I think we probably need to lighten it up just a little bit.
A lot bit.
There's one way to do that.
That is through G. Scott, the host of the G and Ursula Show, and of course, more germane right now, the host of the Reset podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
mynorthwest.com and
good
YouTube.
Morning.
G. Scott, good morning.
Hey, good morning. First of all, it's good to be back.
Welcome
back. Good to see you guys. Thank you.
We missed you.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. So here's what's happening. There's a company called Inception Point AI, founded, co-led by Janine Wright, formerly of Wondery. Here's the plan. They plan to produce thousands of podcasts entirely via AI host. No human host in many cases. The content will span all different various styles to politics and major news and sports, all stuff. Food, nature, commentary. The output and how much they will put out, check this out. They have and plan to have more than 5,000 different shows in their catalog with over 3,000 episodes produced in 1 week. The cost, everybody, per episode is claiming to be as low as $1 an episode. Now, hold on now. SMN with Sully, DB, Charlie, and Manda, and Nick. One whole episode, $1.
You have the boss's attention. She's like, what?
So you okay, man?
Why? I mean, why would you listen to made up stuff?
I don't understand.
Isn't the reason for, I mean, I don't listen to podcasts. Well, isn't it to listen to people that are like real and stuff?
Yep. I'm glad you brought that up, Sully. Thank you for that segue. Here's the next part. You will miss the human connection. There's a lot of folks, you, me, somebody else, maybe not the new young generation, but a lot of folks want real experiences. They want to know Manda on Sunday at the Seahawks game. Why you didn't show up after the game? What happened? Manda, Charlie, did you stay for the entire game at this time? Like, they want to hear these type of things. So criticism will be listeners and critics will also wonder if sometimes it's real. Sometimes these shows might not tell the truth, that they are AI hosts. So you think you're listening to G. Scott. By the way, I went down a rabbit hole with ChatGPT the last 2 days.
Yeah?
I did. By the way, not working, you really get into some mischief. So I was curious about myself. So I said, self, AI, tell me about self. Man, I started to dig in, right? And I started saying, hey, AI, tell me about G. Scott. Tell me about this. Tell me some things that I would say about this topic. Hey, everybody.
Creepy?
It was creepy, y'all.
Spot on?
Spot on. It started giving me what I would lead with. Here's the thing. Whoa! you can't do that. So, again, back to this topic. They're also saying one of the risks could be that AI could flood the market with content this way, with all stuff coming on. It's like listening to your news with the fire hydrant has been let go and all the water's coming in your face. Or it's like listening to your news nonstop with G. Scott in your mouth the entire time. And too much of me is too much, right? So you don't want that.
I'll agree with that.
Well, gee,
man.
My phone's ringing. It's Boss Lady. She's saying, come up to her office. She has $1 for you. I don't know what that's all about.
But Boss Lady, hey, speaking of that, you know what? I got got a meeting with Boss Lady today at 12 o'clock. Yeah. I got to see what she's talking about. And look, she don't know this yet, but I dressed for the occasion today. I'm going to tell Boss Lady after the meeting, I want to take a picture. You know how when you guys see in the sports, they sign the contract and stuff like that, and they got the general manager behind you with the picture? I want one of them pictures with Boss Lady. I'm going to sit down with the pen, with the contract, and Boss Lady going to stand over top of me. Hey, ho.
She's going to have that Publishers Clearinghouse check, and upon it is written, to G. Scott, $1.
All right. I got to go, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Good to see you.
You too.
Sully, why are you so chill today, man?
Got a big interview coming up here later this morning. I'm trying to get my mind around it.
Yeah. Sully is at the traffic desk.
And from Doug in Mount Vernon, gee, I know you follow this guy on our text line. Keep it a buck. You get what you pay for. So anyway, looking at the drive now, the biggest issue continues to be our trouble on 16. It's been there all morning long. We have about 45-minute delays and a 6-mile backup trying to get westbound 16 through Bethel and Port Orchard. This is all from a crash that cleared more than 90 minutes ago, if you can believe it. There's just too much volume. Most of Pierce has cleared out with the exception of northbound I-5. It's getting really heavy right around 54th. I'm looking to see 56. I'm looking to see if we might have a crash there. And then Federal Way to Seattle's about an hour and 10 with 50 of those minutes on your way from South Center. Renton to Bellevue, we've got about a 50-minute trip. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is under 50, and we're still over an hour from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Tired of uneven heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance will give you room-by-room control. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Pretty gray start to the day, but we'll see some sunshine later, warming up to 73 today. And right now, it's 57 in Seattle.
Thanks for being with us here today on Seattle's Morning News. We will continue our coverage of the day's top story on the way with CBS News. This is KIRO News Radio.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Did you know that your windows and doors are your main source of energy loss? At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, our windows with triple weather stripping and gasket seals are up to 25% more efficient than Energy Star standards. LakeWashingtonWindows.com. A name you can trust.
Upgrade your home's energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Details at LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.